podcast covering the Oklahoma City Thunder. This podcast is ran by Jacob, Nick, Justin, Taylor, and Kamiar. Listen to future episodes on your favorite podcast streaming service like iTunes or Spotify. And don't forget to leave a 5-star rating.
This is Ludor. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Uncontested virtual draft party. We're about 10 minutes away from the kickoff of the NBA draft.
Woo!
We're a little behind schedule because Taylor's internet is ran by a hamster running in a wheel. And it seems like the wheel, or maybe the hamster died. I'm not sure.
What happens in Bixby, USA?
This is very true. But thank you all for joining. Stoked to see you guys here. Nick, Justin, we got a lot to talk about before this draft kicks off. Let's start with the news of the day so far. The Oklahoma City Thunder have acquired Al Horford from the Philadelphia 76ers, just not in the trade that we thought it was going to be.
4 years too late.
It feels, I know you guys are, the first thought you guys have is probably the same, but it just feels like another Chris Paul type renaissance that Presti's going to get. Probably the same value that he got to acquire him to end up trading him in 6 months to a year.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think it'll be interesting to see how long his tenure is, what the market looks like, who's willing to take that on. But I agree with you, Nick. I think we'll see Al Horford play games in a Thunder jersey, which I can't say for guys like Kelly Oubre.
Hey, now.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. Al Horford may don a Thunder jersey and be playing on December 22nd. We might see him rerouted tonight. Like, who knows? We don't know what's going to happen.
It's exciting.
So that leads us to my next question. Is the Thunder done, or are there more things to happen tonight?
I think there's zero chance that Sam Presti is looking to draft 4 guys tonight. Like, there's just no chance. And I don't know if it's going to be the big splash people thought, top 3 going for LaMelo Ball. But if he can package the 2 second-rounders and 28 to move up 4 spots and have 2 early 20s picks, I think that's a win in his eyes.
Yeah, I agree. This definitely, all the moves have felt like it's setting up for something. I don't know if Al Horford's included in that something. I don't know if Gallinari gets, sets up a sign-in trade. I don't know if Kelly Oubre gets moved somewhere tonight. But there's, as cliche or as strange as this sounds, there's too many pieces. Sam Presti's holding too many pieces right now. And I feel like some of them have to get dealt elsewhere before the night is over, or else, like Nick said, are we going to bring in 4 rookies? I don't think that makes a lot of sense.
This team is too good to tank as it sits right now.
Like, it's that's the other problem.
It's a bunch of random guys, but they're still going to be too good to tank.
It's not too dissimilar from last year. Obviously, Ricky Rubio's not Chris Paul, but it's a group of guys who put together could mess around and make the playoffs, which is not what you want if you're Oklahoma City. So if you're looking for a reason why this team is not the team, that's it right there.
Yeah, and a lot of the pieces, like earlier today, I sent it to you guys. I had to put together a spreadsheet to figure out who the hell's even on this team right now, because I have no clue.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no clue.
Yeah.
Current center rotation is making $50 million, over $50 million. And Steven Adams and Al Horford. One of them,
like a perfect fit for the modern NBA, if you ask me.
Yeah, one of them might not be here come 2 hours from now. We have how many guards? You have Kelly Oubre, you have Ricky Rubio, enough picks. What are we up to now? 18 future firsts?
Yeah.
8.6%
yes.
of the next 7 drafts belong to the
When you
Thunder.
put it that way, that's just
it's absurd. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. I love it.
Can't stop till we get to 10%.
Yeah.
If you ask
me. F that, 50%. We need to make that happen. So I think there's still lots of moves to be made, not only with the Thunder. I think league-wide throughout the draft tonight, we're going to see a ton of movement, a ton of stuff happening. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with it. Big predictions, but outside of the Thunder, we kind of talked. We think the Thunder are going to make some moves. Big predictions otherwise in the draft.
That's a great question. I think I'm going to make a big prediction that LaMelo Ball does not go in the top 3.
Oh, that does seem pretty big.
Oh,
I'm not even
like
sure
it.
if I believe that, but I just feel like saying something
Hell yeah.
spicy.
Fire him off, baby. Fire him off. Nick, what do you got?
This is tough. I'm going to say Denny Avdia goes top 5.
I like the way you think, buddy. I like the way you
Whoever drafts Denny's, this is a free t-shirt idea right now. It's a Denny's logo, but it's spelled DENI''S. Just cut me like a 2% commission and we'll call it good.
If Oklahoma City traded up for Denny Avdia, I think we'd have to remove Jacob from the podcast because it wouldn't be things people want to see.
Yeah, we'd have to cut me from the stream immediately. It would not be acceptable.
Unspeakable.
Yeah.
In a good way for those listeners out there. In a good way.
Yes. God, I love Denny. So I
don't know. What do we think about Anthony Edwards? The draft interviews, man, the questions and the answers that he was putting out.
Isn't it interesting? The top 2 prospects, Edwards and Ball, have just been absolutely horrible interviews.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, Nick,
amazing.
You were on LaMelo Ball's media availability yesterday, and just tell us a little bit about how much of a shit show that was.
It was one of those you couldn't really decipher if it was him knowing no matter what he says, he's going top 3 or number 1, whatever he might think, or if his IQ just isn't there, albeit he's a young kid. But he would, they were asking very in-depth questions like, where do you see yourself, thriving as a rookie on whatever team? What have you worked on in the past 6 months to improve your game? And he would reply with one-word answers like, nah. Like that'd be his answer is nah. Or how is your game similar to your brother Alonzo's? And he would say, I don't really know that much. I'm like, do you or is your IQ just not there, or do you not care? And that scares me.
He's not even listening to the questions.
Well, that's another thing too. Is he was looking at his phone and kind of off to the side. You could tell there was something kind of going on.
High school students.
It's a little bit Russell Westbrookian in that.
Yes,
it just felt like he didn't have time for that.
But
maybe it's because he already knows where he's going.
Either way,
if you think about it as a job interview, woof, not a good job interview. Right. But it's not a job interview. It's not meeting with GMs. It's not that. Maybe he knows where he's going, and he literally thought talking to Nick is a waste of time, which is something that I think pretty much every week.
Fair.
But outside of that, like maybe he didn't care, and maybe that's all it is, or maybe he's really stupid. And one of those, if you're an NBA GM, is obviously a lot more concerning than the other. But either way, not a great look. And Anthony Edwards, like, yeah, basketball's all right.
Like, it was a little weird.
I like football better, and I'd rather be playing video games. Basketball's okay though. Yeah,
I'm a little like, you can't celebrate an NBA. That was the one part of his comment that kind of threw me off.
Yeah,
he's like, I want to go to the NFL because you can do all like crazy celebrations and spike the ball. I'm like, have you watched an NBA game?
Right.
I feel like you can get away with quite a bit.
It's an interesting comment. Hey, before this draft officially kicks off, I want to snag a couple of questions from the chat here real quick. First, do you think Presti can get to the 17th pick in time before the draft? I don't think it's going to be getting it before the draft. I think it's going to be like he maybe moves up like while they're on the clock or something like that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it could be, around the 16th pick. He's got time.
Yeah.
He's got time. I think he can get there. I think he can get there before he has to. It sounds like he's probably got a handful of ways that he could get there too. Like I said, he's got a lot of pieces.
Yeah, exactly. I like to think of Presti right now as the Paul Pierce picture where he's holding the 2 cell phones.
It's almost like we've heard Presti is potentially looking into sign and trade with Dallas. We've heard Minnesota and their 17th pick are being, discussed with Oklahoma City. It almost seems like it's going to be a waiting game. If Minnesota gets to pick 17 and there's not a guy they want, maybe there's been a deal agreed upon in principle. But if they get there and there's a guy they like, that they keep that pick and move on.
Man, the amount of contingencies that they have put in place right now is probably insane.
Yeah,
Probably
right.
insane.
We always talk about wanting to be a fly on the wall, like 100%. That's me. Like I want to be in the war room with Presty on draft
Oh,
night,
yeah.
especially like
Oh,
this
yeah.
draft night. Like let's get weird.
I love it. Next one. Actually, before we take the rest of the chat questions, hold up. We got Woj tweeting. Let's take it live.
Look alive.
Timberwolves
Wolves
Woj
remain
break.
on the phone discussing possible trade scenarios for the number 1 overall pick. Gerson Rosas' plan had always been to take this down to the wire, and now we'll see what's happening.
Yes. Love it.
So
I
we're coming
love
up.
it.
Before we take any more questions in the chat, guys, it's 7
Trivia?
o'clock. We promised our listeners we would do a trivia question at 7 o'clock.
Yes. Yes. Who wants
So,
dinner?
Yeah, this trivia question is for a chance to win. Whoever gets this question right in the chat, doesn't matter if you're watching on Periscope, doesn't matter if you're on YouTube, doesn't matter if you're watching from wherever in the world. We'll figure it out. Whoever gets this trivia question right in the chat first, we'll reach out to you, or you'll have to like send us your phone number or something. And Justin's going to holler at you. We're going to order you pizza and wings from your pizza place of choice right now.
Yes.
Get it sent to you so you can enjoy it for the rest of the draft.
Better be Domino's.
Jacob just
Oh.
had some chicken
I just had some Chick-fil-A, and
Oh
God
my
bless my
gosh.
soul, I feel
coming
good.
back up
Right.
apparently.
I was going to say Twitter question. Trivia question. Here we go. Whoever gets it in the chat first, I have the chat pulled up right here, wins. In the 2019 draft, the Thunder made a draft night trade to acquire Darius Baisley. Before 2019, when is the last time Sam Presti made a draft night trade, and who was it to acquire? Whoever gets it first correctly.
We should have
We're
planned
wearing
a
you pizza
sounder for
wings.
this.
Yeah, no, I don't have any good sounders for a trivia. Let's see.
Can you
What if we're
freestyle?
sitting here for like an hour just waiting?
Oh, there we
Boom!
go. Joe J got
Wow.
it. 2016, Sam Presti trades Serge Ibaka to move up and get Domas Sabonis.
Yes.
Joe, I don't know how we're gonna get your
Joe
info
J?
off YouTube.
Joe
Is that
J.
Joe Johnson of the Brooklyn Nets?
Yes.
Joe Johnson. Joe J, if you're out there, do you have a Twitter? Can you DM us on Twitter?
There we go,
sweet.
Joe
There we
J.
go.
Yeah,
Boom.
DM us on Twitter.
Love it.
Justin's gonna get you
We'll get
taken
you
care of.
taken care of.
We're
Well
gonna
You better
get
pick. You better pick the right pizza place, Joe J. There's only one right option here.
That was fast. I'm
Yeah,
impressed.
it was very
I
good.
thought that would be
Hey,
harder. I'm a little
For the
disappointed.
rest of you guys, we still have 2 more giveaways tonight. If you entered our mock draft tournament,
and if
we
you
will have
didn't
that
go do
pulled
that
up.
like right now, can you do it now?
It might already be offline because it just hit
Well,
7.
you should try.
Yeah, you can
and
try anyways. But
sneak
whoever
in.
gets closest to the Thunder's draft pick, we're gonna buy you that OKC draft night hat. I saw
Yeah.
the Thunder tweeted a picture of that hat, and someone said, "Trade it for a first round pick." It was incredible.
So good.
Then we also have whoever wins the mock draft tournament is going to get a Thunder jersey of the new rookie tonight. We also
Yes.
have the one, the only internet working on a
works.
hamster. Taylor Peterson is here.
Well, that hamster is running pretty quickly right now because we were at full bars, baby.
He
Atta
shot
boy.
the hamster up with
I-
methamphetamines.
I think
We're
what
good to
the
go.
issue. Yeah, that's right. I think I put Brody out there, my little Chihuahua Terrier mix, and just letting him run
Oh,
circles.
there you go.
I think what happened is I started this thing outside, and like there's a brick wall obviously in between, and so I started losing connection. Then when I came back inside, I just wasn't wanting to. Yeah. Anyways, hey, we're here just in the nick of
IT
time.
props. You just missed the trivia.
I did. Who won?
Joe J.
Joe
Johnson,
J,
Whoever
my
you are,
man.
Joe. Yeah,
Uh-oh, we
nailed
lost
it.
Nick.
Like really quickly too. I'm impressed. I'm very
Okay,
Very
gentlemen.
impressive.
I know we've already done our mock drafts. Tell me, what is one
Get
of the
the phone
players the
going.
Thunder is making out of this draft with? Who are they? That was worded.
I like
weirdly.
it when
That's
you say making out.
Presti's gonna kiss somebody. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, you
Who-
did say last night there's going to be a lot of action.
Yeah, who is gonna end up on the Thunder? While you guys discuss this real quick, I gotta go get my laptop charger. So
All right.
I will be
Dude,
back
what is this?
momentarily.
Amateur hour?
Yeah, well, I have a charger plugged in, and I'm
Oh.
watching my percentage actively go down instead of up, which is not a
That's
good
what I went and did too. I'm all
So
set.
I will be right back.
Put me
Well-
down for Pokemon. I'm on the
Pokemon, I
Pokemon
love
train.
it. I love it. Hey, that was the original rumor.
17.
I think we kind of have to go with it.
I'm all in.
I'm kind of with you there. I also that Naismith rumor,
Yeah,
pretty interesting to me.
That's very interesting.
Those picks. We've now heard rumors that the Thunder are targeting the 17th overall pick and the 18th overall pick, the Mavericks and the Timberwolves.
Feels like
that's
the
kind of
right
where
range.
Naismith would be going, right? Yep. Exactly.
Totally.
But Poku also, a lot of our listeners right now on YouTube saying Poku also.
Poku's interesting because
he's been rising.
Yeah, he's rising, but I feel like people are so polarized on him still. Like he could go anywhere.
No, you're exactly right.
In this round.
That's what's so interesting because I had a couple different people. My brother was one of them, and then a couple others reached out to me today. What's with this Poku kid? And I was like, well, he honestly is the most unique player maybe we've ever, like one of the most unique players we've ever have seen. He's a 7-foot guard, and not like a Porzingis who can shoot from outside and play. He literally plays like a guard. He moves off the ball like a guard. He can see the floor so well. It's incredible, but he's so thin and scrawny. And I'm not even sure when he gets into an NBA organization, if that's even going to be enough for him. He might be out of the league in two years.
Here's why I'm in on Poku. Because
XG Graphics says you got to swing on him. And Jonathan, I am drinking a Tank 7 currently.
Good for you. If we're going to take a risk on a guy like Poku, who has a really high ceiling and maybe a really low floor, and we don't really know what he's going to be, like the beginning of your rebuild process is the right time to make that pick. As you get farther down the line, the picks are going to have to be home runs. This is one that let's get weird. We're going to suck next year. Let's bring Poku in. Maybe he plays in Europe another year. Let's see what happens.
That's the other thing too, is you don't have to bring him over immediately, and he may choose not to.
Turn into.
But it'd be.
I bet
you almost want to get him in.
He's coming over. Yeah. I would be surprised if he didn't immediately come over.
Especially on a rebuilding team.
Put him on that Giannis diet, and let's go.
I just have Twitter on my phone right now, just refreshing over and over, waiting for Woj.
Yes.
Hey, listeners, are you guys all okay with spoilers with the whole Woj tweets and Chomps tweeting early?
Because we're
probably going to be going off those, not the TV.
Love it. I love it.
Pray for Clay. No, absolutely. Seriously, that sucks so bad. And Clay's such an awesome dude. I absolutely hate that. Don't know if you guys have discussed that yet while I was trying to get my internet to work.
But we haven't talked about Clay yet. That's interesting.
Terrible.
Jacob was pointing out that OKC has some good assets to make a trade with the Warriors. Does the Clay injury change the likelihood of that?
That's fair. Do they want to go younger and get a guy like LaMelo Ball? Or I saw somebody put this out, a reporter saying, does this make it more likely that like a Kelly Oubre is on his way?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That's a great point too.
Minnesota Anthony Edwards. Wow.
There it is. We have our first pick, ladies and gents.
That's the safe bet.
Yeah.
No idea what Edwards is going to actually turn into. Like we've talked about.
A rapper and an NFL player, I think.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, but you sound like you're coming through your laptop and not your mic.
I am. We
can hear you good though.
Okay. Yeah, the sound messed up, and the only way to fix it is if we all go offline, and I don't want to do that. So
boy.
We're killing it with the IT.
I was going to say we're off to, and of course we recorded a test run for our actual podcast on Sunday, our group podcast. We decided to do it, and it was flawless. But not this time.
Glad we tested that. Yep.
Oh man.
I'm going to see if I can get it back. But while I try that, let's add in guest of the Uncontested, friend of the pod, Jacob Silva.
Jacob,
let's go.
How's it going?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah. Awesome. I cannot hear you. I'm trying to figure that out right now.
Nice.
It takes it a second. That happened to Jacob also a while back. Or other Jacob.
JD Silva, in case y'all out there are not aware, he's the man behind our intros. So
yeah, that's right. The man making the beats.
If you get bouncing in your seat while the podcast is firing up, like I do, he can't hear me hyping him up right
He's
now.
He's got to go. So tell him. Somebody text him and tell him to go to the settings.
Silva's the man behind the intro. We are
So Woj is already doing his like unique phrasing. His tweet was emerging at the top of the Timberwolves draft board for number 1, Anthony Edwards.
I love it. I love it.
LeVar Ball's hat says, "I told you so." That's pretty awesome. That was from Dorian. What's up, Dorian?
I like it.
What else we got going?
Oh, here, hold up.
Peggers.
Justin, did you get a hold of Joe yet?
Yes.
Beautiful. Get my man some pizza.
Oh, yeah, we got a pizza winner. Look at Anthony. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. I think that's the right pick for Minnesota.
Yeah, mildly surprising that Anthony Edwards goes number 1 overall. Minnesota was not able to deal the pick, but good for him. I think he fits pretty good with Minnesota's core. You now have 3 young players who I think are going to be really, really good if they can all 3 learn how to play defense.
I agree completely.
That's going to be the biggest part. Can they defend?
And culture, right? That's a one kind of issue I think there with Anthony Edwards is the culture aspect. You're going to need Karl-Anthony Towns to step up and be a leader, D'Angelo Russell, and obviously Saunders has a pretty big task laid out in front of them, but it could pay out dividends for them.
Yes, definitely.
That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I would have done it.
I'm so curious to know what the offers were.
It's the interview questions, man. Like,
somebody just said they really drafted Wiggins 2.0. That's funny. That's pretty good.
The interview questions for me. Like, I just don't. It's concerning. Like, I get it. Not every dude's going to be like a total hoop head, like watches film all day and night. And I don't think you need to have that to be a successful NBA player.
But that comment was pretty concerning. To your points.
Yeah, basketball's okay. Like, what's going to happen when he's not a star right away? What's going to happen when he has to like get developed for a couple years? Is he going to lose interest? That would be my concern.
That is horrifying. I agree. It's all about the effort for him. Hopefully this motivates him though. Getting to go number 1 overall.
I mean, it would motivate me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That amount of money would be pretty motivating if you ask me.
Silva, you good?
I'm good. Everything's
all
good.
Right. You can hear us.
Yes. Thanks for having me on, guys. I'll be on through like pick 15, something like that.
You couldn't hear it, but I was hyping you up to everybody.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
The man behind the music. Making the music happen.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm like speaking into my mic over here.
So let's see. Edwards just got taken officially, right?
Yeah.
Catching them.
So now we have Golden State Warriors on the clock.
Yep.
We have, even though some people are saying, torn Achilles, we have, as far as we know so far, still an undiagnosed Klay Thompson lower leg injury. Our friend of the podcast and fellow Blue Wire member, Jonathan Wasserman, NBA Draft Was on Twitter from Bleacher Report, tweeted earlier today that the Klay Thompson injury will not affect the Golden State Warriors draft plans at number 2.
Ooh, James Wiseman at 2.
Wow.
Yeah, Wiseman.
There we go. Yeah. And the LaMelo Ball slide starts. So Wiseman at 2. Guys, we talked about if Golden State made a selection at number 2, Wiseman should be the guy. He's going to fit in as a young guy with just a role to fill. He's going to fit in perfectly in Golden State.
I agree. Yeah, that's a safe 100%. Pick.
He doesn't have to do too much in that position at all. He just has to. Well, maybe he might have to do a little bit more now if Klay's going to be out for a while. But ideally, in that culture they have built there, you can just toss him. He can finish lobs, set pick and rolls for Steph Curry. He'll have a ton of space to roll. That's true.
Another guy where I think going to the right culture is huge for him, and I think that's going to be great for Wiseman. It's kind of a player who could contribute more now compared to LaMelo Ball, who maybe needs a little more developing. And obviously, if Klay Thompson's going to be out, you need that, but we'll see.
You talked about a guy going to the right culture. We might see the exact opposite thing in a second with Charlotte and LaMelo Ball.
LaMelo, that's so true.
It's the perfect level of toxicity.
That is so true. Apparently, Michael Jordan, according to Kevin O'Connor, Michael Jordan has given the stamp of approval. Yeah, I said that earlier today.
Interesting.
So So is that our guess for the next one? That's going to be Ball number 3 to Charlotte, or is this pick on the move?
Was that?
I don't know if Charlotte's going to. I think the first trade comes at 4, and I think somebody just said it.
Oh, there we go.
There
we go.
We'll select
Charlotte
LaMelo Ball.
LaMelo Ball number 3.
Bang.
Do you think? So I saw some mocks where Okongwu was projected at 3. Maybe. Do you think that's why he leaked that his foot was hurt, so he wouldn't go to Charlotte?
Yeah, that's true. So he would drop further.
Yeah.
Honestly, crazier stuff has happened.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Holy cow! After that LaMelo Ball pick, we jumped like 10 viewers. I guess people were really hoping. Okay, so he was going to trade up.
Everybody wants to hear about LaMelo.
I'm not going to lie, Jacob. I really thought you were onto something earlier today when you mentioned Al Horford going to Golden State Warriors. I thought they might be trying to trade for 2.
Yeah, I was on my bullshit, man. I was on my bullshit.
It makes sense.
It didn't work out.
Makes sense. You have Oubre Jr. I guess Horford probably throwing one of like those lower picks for 2 and Wiggins, but they decided to go with Wiseman, and then Ball and Charlotte. That's going to be so interesting.
LaMelo Ball to Charlotte. Does that take Charlotte out of the Russell Westbrook sweepstakes?
Oh yeah,
I think so.
I don't think it makes any sense, right?
No, I agree completely. Poor Russ.
Yeah,
I think both him and Harden will be starting the season in Houston.
I agree with that.
They aren't going to like it. They might not show up, but they're going to at least be on the team.
Really no options.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys interpret that weird transaction they did earlier with Detroit? They like traded
that
the
was
16.
weird.
Yeah, I didn't understand what the.
And then they bought a 2021 second round pick basically to cover the cost of acquiring.
Yeah, and opening up cap space, but they don't need cap space. Like, well, they're not opening up cap space, opening up the ability to use the mid-level exception so they can go sign somebody. And it's
you're
like
not going to sign anybody for the MLE. That's
you're not going to sign anybody better than Robert Covington, who you already traded.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess you got the picks out of it, so that's nice, but just doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
Yeah, no, I think you're right there. Niner by Nature said, "Who is Charlotte's backcourt?" So that's going to be LaMelo, Devontae Graham, and Terry Rozier is still there as well.
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting. Could do a little 3-guard lineup, kind of like OKC did this year. There's versatility there with Ball.
Yep, man, interesting. All the talk we heard about, these first 3 picks being in play, teams looking to move down. Nothing's happened so far. Now, with that being said,
I think this is where it could happen. You see a team like the Cavaliers jump. Oh, no, never mind. I got a different notification. See, the Cavaliers jump Chicago. I thought that was going to be it right there. There's been talk about that. I could see, I think these next 10 picks is where we can start to see some movement.
Yeah, for sure. It's just, all we heard for so long was number 1 and 2 are available. Number 1 and 2 are available. Maybe we get a tweet here in a little bit that says, number 1 or 2 has been moved. But we're not seeing anything currently. And as it currently stands, it seems like those picks are staying in place,
Yep. That's a good point. So one of Nick and I's friends from Germany, actually, he's a foreign exchange student back when we were in high school, played basketball with us. He replied and said, "Now LeVar can finally beat MJ in 101.
There you go. There you go. I love it.
Make it happen.
They're going to hate each other, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. So the pick for the Golden State Warriors is just now being announced on my TV.
Yeah.
And we're 4 picks in, 3 picks in.
Welcome to and they're doing this draft at ESPN. Literally on the other side of that screen is Woj.
Yeah.
So like he's sitting like roughly 150 feet away from Adam Silver, basically spoiling all of Adam Silver's announcements, which is just
incredible.
Perfect. It's just perfect.
He is using the unique wording again, though. He's done that for the, I guess, first 3 picks now.
Yeah.
Huh.
I wonder if he's like, I don't know. Is there some contract because ESPN broadcasts the draft that he can't say who they're drafting? So he has
probably.
To, like,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Probably it.
That's my guess. Sorry,
That-
guys.
that
I'm
first
ordering
year-
pizza. I'm very
Ooh, nice.
distracted.
That first year Woj was there where he was like X team is laser focused on. Yeah.
That was great. And there was a year where he was treated out. What was it? It was just 2 words. It was like I can't remember now.
Well, at the trade deadline.
It was trade deadline. You're right. It was trade deadline. It wasn't the
where
draft.
he just tweeted out, "Good Lord."
Good Lord.
Yeah. We were like, oh my God, what is happening?
Big mood.
So, for Thunder fans who are hoping for LaMelo Ball and maybe a trade coming, with the Warriors, it made a little bit of sense. I don't see any sort of trade with the Charlotte Hornets. I don't think there's anything there. I really don't. Like, the Warriors want to win now, and the Thunder had pieces to help them achieve that goal. There is no win now move for Charlotte. Charlotte's in a rebuild. They've been in a rebuild for a decade.
I think that's the right call. Getting a guy like LaMelo, I mean, it could blow up in their faces, but at the same time, it also could turn around their franchise rather than trading for an aging Russell Westbrook who might get you into the 8th seed in the East, maybe. And you have to pay that contract.
As much as I wanted to see Russ in those mint green uniforms.
True. That's pretty sick.
From a basketball perspective, LaMelo's a better choice. He's still risky, but I think that.
So this is pretty funny.
Another one.
Speaking of laser, Zach Lowe quote tweeted Woj's last tweet and said, "Bring me the laser," and Woj replied, "Stop it."
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
But no, I do think LaMelo's a good choice for Charlotte. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? They suck some more. Like, they're already kind of at the bottom. So, like, what do you have to lose?
I'm totally with you.
In a draft like this, where there's like nobody that stands out, that's like an obvious pick. Yeah, take a shot. Could LaMelo blow up? Maybe, but if you're Charlotte, I think you take it.
True.
And I took that personally.
So this one's taken a while.
Number 4.
Sam
Presti's trading for it.
Yeah, that's right.
Sam Presti trading for number 4 and to take Denny Advia right now. You heard it here first.
Who needs Get Roman when you have Denny Avdija?
We just lost all of our viewers. We're down to single digits now.
Oh, that's amazing. It is interesting. I always get nervous whenever
OKC talks with the Wolves. I did see that for that 17th pick. Niner by nature.
Yeah. Yes.
Pretty interesting.
Justin, what kind of pizza did our man Joe J get?
This is the info that people really want. We have an order of pepperoni and bacon pizza.
Oh,
I like it. Ron Swanson approved. And an order of honey barbecue wings.
Oh, hell yeah.
And just because I threw in a brownie.
Look at
you. Okay.
Oh, man.
You gotta have dessert.
Boom.
You gotta have dessert. I like it.
I
like it a lot.
There's plenty of time to slander the Kings if we want to for fumbling the Bogdan trade.
We haven't talked about that yet.
God, what a disaster. That's a good point.
Jump into that.
Oh, my gosh. So did they just think that they could just trade a player with that was going to be a free agent without asking him if he would sign elsewhere?
100% that's what happened.
Were they not involved in the Brooks and Brooks trade? Was that them?
Dude, yes.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
If that was, then that'd be incredible. I can't remember.
Was it the Kings?
No, it was the Suns and the Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies and the Grizzlies. Okay, yeah.
But like, unbelievable that that's someone's job, and you could overlook a detail like that.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to know why the Kings are in the draft lottery every year, it's things like that. Like just fundamental things of running a basketball franchise that you need to know.
Refuse to acknowledge
that they just don't. And you would hope that when Vlade leaves, that gets better, but apparently that's not.
That's kind of what I was wondering.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's more embarrassing, this or Vlade not knowing that you're supposed to call the league office when you make a trade? He just thought you could just, screw it. Like, yeah, I'll send you that guy. Or are you going to call
It's already on Twitter.
Why would I call the league? They don't need to know this.
Woj tweeted it out. I don't have to call the league.
It's like Michael Scott declaring bankruptcy. Like that's not how it works.
I declare. Oh man,
So good.
Hey, what if Bogdanovich was talking with Giannis and Giannis was like, "Yeah, man, I'm sorry, I'm still not sure if I'm going to sign this thing," and he was like, "Oh,
I
See,
like
I think
conspiracies.
I think what's more likely, Taylor, is that you know they technically couldn't orchestrate a sign and trade right now, anyways, because Bogdanovich is not a free agent yet, right? So what if
True.
another team?
Yeah.
What if another team saw those reports and contacted Bogdan's agent and said, "Hey,
oh,
we were going to offer you a hell of a lot more money," and he said, "Whoa, pause, time out.
wow!" So
I'm going to free agency."
Chicago went with Patrick Williams.
Patrick
that
Williams.
is-
Had Pat Will at forward.
Wow, climbing
There
the
was
Detroit is
there was
legend.
rumors of them doing it, but he did. Wow. Apparently, Billy was really high on Pat Will.
absolutely
Billy.
climbing the boards. He was
That's fascinating.
He was projected like late lottery, then climbed all the way to 7 to Detroit, and now Chicago takes him at 4. That's a bit surprising.
That is surprising.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I read that Detroit like really wanted him at 7, and that was even then people thought that was going to be a reach, but 4.
Man.
I mean, I don't know. Billy's used to coaching guys that can't shoot, so
Here we
I
go.
guess-
Cleveland continues to field offers for number
Okay,
5 pick.
okay.
Yep.
Someone,
Hey,
Sam comes in.
Someone put eyes on
Denny
Sam Presti.
is on the board, folks. Denny is still there.
it
I
might just fall to
don't-
Jacob.
Don't know what I would do if the Thunder draft Denny tonight.
Jacob would
Man.
start stripping live on the
Stop teasing me.
on the stream.
It'd be like Will Ferrell in Old School, instantly.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
If you go streaking, can we live stream it?
Sure.
Maybe we'll just put that one on Instagram.
We'll live stream it on a different site.
Right. There are sites for that. We can make some money off of this.
OnlyFans.
The uncontested OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Oh my gosh.
I like it.
Oh man.
We could have a
We're trying to increase pod revenue, folks.
John Krasinski of The Athletic. The Timberwolves are in talks to trade the 17th pick to OKC for Ricky Rubio and picks 25 and 28.
Oh, let's
Ooh.
go!
Oh.
They're keeping Oubre too.
dude.
now.
And Rubio going home.
And James Johnson.
Oh.
I can't play the Sounders. I'd play the "I'm Going Home" song.
Brianna wants your OnlyFans.
Dude.
She's in.
It probably is James Johnson.
I mean, James Johnson has to be involved.
Yeah.
We've talked about this for weeks.
Yes. The salaries, dude. If they can flip Rubio for 17, and you still keep
Yeah.
Kelly Oubre, Rubio is
That's
the
incredible.
least valuable of the OKC assets.
Yeah,
Right?
wholeheartedly.
They've already flipped Danny, not Danny, Danny. We
on the
ain't
brain.
flipping no Denny. They've already flipped Danny. Danny Green.
Who comes from Minnesota for that
James
salary?
Johnson.
I
James
think it's
Johnson.
James
Oh
Johnson.
yeah,
It's
duh.
gotta be.
Duh. Good point.
Is he
And
expiring?
thus,
Oh, we're gonna have James Johnson, Al Horford,
right? Oklahoma City's entire team is
Kelly
getting
Oubre.
players that were really good, like almost a decade
Except
ago.
Oubre's young, but also expiring. Yeah, those
Yeah.
two. Those two are old players that we all wanted. Like 4 years
OKC's
ago.
roster is going to look like a big 3 team. Before
Somebody
this
said
is
he
done.
has to opt in. James Johnson has to opt in. That's a good point.
Yeah,
Good point.
yeah.
And Jonathan
interesting.
S.M. brought up a good point too. It's not for Rubio for 17. It's 2 picks to move
The
up
2
8
picks.
spots.
Yeah. And that's fair. So if the Thunder are trying to get to 17, you know what this tells me? It is Pokuševski.
I think you're
Alexei
yeah.
You're
Pokuševski.
probably right.
or
You're probably right.
Neesmith.
Yeah.
It could, it could be him.
Yeah.
Poku makes more sense.
There's just been so much more smoke around Poku.
I agree. Pokemon boy, got to draft them all.
Pokemon. We can drop our shirts.
Yeah, I got them ready.
So I
My
wonder,
man.
I wonder
Ready.
if Cleveland's going to trade this pick.
Is now a good time to tell everyone that I may have also had a LaMelo KC shirt design ready, just in case.
You
in
would.
case.
That is
We were
awesome.
prepped, folks. We were
We were-
prepped.
We were
So-
prepped
so-
for some very
Rumble, say
unlikely
hi.
scenarios.
Let's talk about this real quick. Let's say this Timberwolves trade goes through. The Wolves would have Ricky Rubio.
Again.
They would have
Again.
D'Angelo Russell Anthony Edwards at the 3.
Ooh.
And then you're putting Cat at the 5, and then whoever you need to fill at the 4. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
That is very, very interesting.
All of our listeners are saying Poku.
Yeah, I think that's what it would be.
Yeah. We're gonna will this into existence. Is what's gonna happen. Give me the skeleton man.
I do kind of like Rubio going back to Minnesota. That's
it's interesting. I wonder if he had any not that he would get a say, but I'm curious. I'm curious how Rubio feels about that.
Yeah,
true. That's a good point.
What did he tweet after the trade went through the other day?
He wasn't very happy.
He was like this business or something.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
I really do.
OKC legend Ricky Rubio. Should we
I know.
get his jersey?
Somebody prepare the Danny Green and Ricky Rubio hype or what's the word? Tribute video. Get that ready right now.
Yep.
Ooh,
it can go right next to the Carmelo Anthony Hawks.
Will Stokenberry brought up a good point. If Steven Adams gets traded, I'll cry, which makes me think tonight could be a night that Steven gets traded.
Don't you say that.
I mean, do we start the season with Al Horford and Steven Adams on the roster?
You start big. You play Horford at the 4, Steven at the 5. We call it tall ball.
We're going to look like the Nuggets in the bubble.
Paisley at the 3, Shea at the 1, and Dort at the 2.
Hey, the Nuggets led the way. We're just following their example.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. That was a tall ball.
But I mean, trading Steven Adams becomes a more real possibility by the minute, I feel like. And while it makes all the franchise and basketball sense in the world, God, it's
that one's gonna hurt. That one's gonna hurt.
I don't think other than Russ and Katie leaving in free agency, when it comes just strictly to trades, when was the last time you felt a trade like that?
Yeah, that's fair. Somebody just tweeted, HP Basketball, Matt Moore, used to be with CBS, now he's with the Action Network. Off the top of your head, list me all the Thunder draft picks in this draft. And he retweeted a reply that said, well, it'd be easier to list the non-Thunder picks.
Yeah.
It's wild. Perfect. Cleveland selecting Isaac Okoro. Ooh, so they didn't trade it.
Okongwu. Slipping a little? Is he going to slip?
Interesting.
Huh.
Isaac Okoro is good.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah. I like Okoro. I was kind of
interesting.
Yeah. That is fascinating. I think that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Okoro's solid. He's gonna be a really good defender. If he can develop a better jumper, a little more reliable jumper, especially from the corner, I think he's gonna be really good. Speaking of Danny Green types, kind of reminds me of a Danny Green in a way, but maybe a little more athletic.
I think to Silva's point, is Okongwu slipping?
That toe.
He might be.
That was my hope before they said it was a minor injury. That was my hope is okay, let's have Okongwu just keep on slipping. Let's have the injury be bad enough that he falls into OKC's lap, because let him sit out the whole year. Who cares?
So our Knicks, some of our Knicks friends over at the Knicks wall tweeting right now, Kyle Maggio, yes, thank the Lord, oh my gosh, when he's quote tweeted the Cleveland pick, because this means that the Knicks didn't trade up to get Obi Toppin like they were rumored to.
Yeah,
now they can just take Obi.
That would have been very Knicks. That would have been very Knicks.
Oh wow, there's MJ and LaMelo.
There you go.
Yeah.
Atlanta Hawks are selecting Okongwu. There you go.
Bang.
Hawks are selecting Okongwu from Chris Haynes.
Oh, Chris Haynes.
No trades. Hawks were ones that were actively shopping that 6th pick.
Yeah.
The Thunder are going to trade up to 17 to draft a punter from Murray State.
This happens every year. I feel
right
going
back,
into the draft, leading up to it, it's all this talk about there's going to be so much movement, there's so much chatter, and then the draft starts and it's chalk.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what's happening again. We've been duped again.
All bluff.
We fell for it. We got to be smarter next year.
So Okongwu is primarily a 5, right?
Yes. Yeah. He'll be a small 5. He's undersized in terms of height, but he's thick and strong.
So he's not going to start for them immediately because they have Clint Capella now.
Oh, that's a good point.
But it could maybe play alongside Capella.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of playing tall. Oh,
big boys. Some big boys down low that can catch lobs from Trae Young. That's a good.
There's also John Collins.
And John Collins.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, with that team, get some perimeter spacing. Somebody to put alongside Trey that can hit threes, and then a bunch of guys that can go be athletic and catch lobs from Trey Young. That's not a bad strategy.
They were also Atlanta was there was rumors floating that they were looking at Gordon Hayward like a sign and trade, something like that. Wonder if they now that they are kind of like log jammed at the 4 or 5, maybe
they cool off that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Put Gordon in there.
Yeah. Also, Atlanta was rumored as a Gallinari destination.
Right.
I wonder how this affects that as well.
That's a good point.
Hopefully a lot for Oklahoma City's sake, because Atlanta could sign him outright, and that would be bad news bears for the Thunder.
True. I'm super curious about that. Source confirms report from John Krasinski. Huh. Oh, that Ricky Rubio is coming back to Minnesota. OKC dealing him here for the 17th pick in exchange for giving the Wolves Rubio 25 and 28. That's from Chris Hine. Timberwolves beat for Star Tribune.
I like it.
It's official.
I like it.
Jared Weiss from The Athletic just tweeted that he has a source with Atlanta that says they were willing to blow up their front court to take Kongwu. So maybe Collins is gonna be out of there.
Interesting.
OKC trading for Collins, huh?
Yes.
That's interesting.
That is fascinating. That makes sense though, because they do have a lot of big guys. Huh.
Kind of surprised. I mean, I know Shams and Woj are busy, but I'm kind of surprised they haven't tweeted out or at least retweeted John Krasinski, or however you say his last name.
Yeah, I just
I
follow Vincent Goodwill, who writes he's like Yahoo's senior NBA writer, and he writes for Detroit News, and he says Detroit's going to take Killian Hayes.
Oh, that's a good pick.
With 7.
That's a good pick.
I'm seeing that report here as well. Killian Hayes at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Polishing off my Pokemon design over here. Multitasking.
So the Knicks don't have to trade up to get Obi Toppin. Now he's just available.
It's good for Knicks fans, I guess. If you're gonna pick an average prospect,
there's Shams. There's Shams. Killian Hayes at 7.
Boom.
Meanwhile, we're only on to pick 6 on the TV.
I do like that pick for Detroit, though.
Yeah, it's a high upswing pick. Killian Hayes has the chance to be a really high upside player. So I do think that's a good move for them.
Sam Vicini says, so happy for Onyeka Kongwu that the late injury reports didn't make him fall. I agree. Yeah. Although I would have liked that as a Thunder fan.
You guys feel good about the potential of us selecting Poku? I was listening to some podcasts today, and I guess David Blatt had kind of said he doesn't have the work ethic to succeed.
I saw that as well.
Yeah, that kind of worried me a little.
What does David Blatt know?
Yeah.
I did also see, was it Fran Fraschilla? I think said he wouldn't touch Poku. It is interesting, but
I'm glad he won't touch him, pervert.
I stand by what I said. I think that I don't know. I think it's worth the risk.
I think it is too.
If you're OKC, take a swing. This is the year to get it wrong.
Yeah,
this is the year to get it wrong.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. So we know Killian is at 7. We know that the Knicks love Obi Toppin at 8. Where's Denny going to land? I'm just saying, if you're about to get 17 Oubre, 17 Oubre to move up to 9 or 10 and get Denny, let's make it happen, Presty. Let's make it happen. I am ready.
Yeah, I don't hate that idea.
Woj just slowed down a little bit on his picks. I wonder if
he's falling behind. He's probably
he's falling behind.
He's calling trades and getting phone calls and
I can't even imagine all the stuff coming into Woj's phone right now. You know, it has to be insane.
To just, like, be able to hear all these phone calls right before, like, for people like Cleveland, right before they were on the clock, be a blast. Or shoot the Warriors and Timberwolves.
Man,
the official.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, just a small thing. The official Velveeta account just tweeted, "Cleveland is on the clock. They are focused on hamburger, bacon, queso sliders."
Big if true.
Did you see the tweet earlier tonight from Quick Trip?
Quick Trip, yes.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes, they're going to trade a tornado to
a couple tornadoes for the right to the jersey sponsorship.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Team Quick Trip. Screw loves.
Nate Sanders says that he likes Neesmith. So I said Neesmith, and then I heard somebody else say Neesmith today that I trust more. So I'm going to go with Neesmith for now.
You pronouncing things wrong? Never.
Who would have thunk it? So Nate asked, I like Neesmith over Poku at 17. What do y'all think?
I think he's got the higher floor.
That's what I was going to say.
Yep.
Lower ceiling, higher floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's the safe pick.
He's a flat, which is so strange because he doesn't really fit the Presti mold. Although something to keep in mind, something I was thinking, right? Yeah, he can shoot, and he's not actually all that great of a defender. Shouldn't say that. He's not known for being a defender. Probably just competent at best. But something I was thinking of earlier today when I saw that, well, two things. One, they're also linked to like Nico Mannion. There's like 3 different people they're linked to today, the Thunder, and two. This is Presti's first draft pick since the post Russ era. Because when he drafted last year, because of COVID and everything else, it seems crazy. But Russ was still on the roster; they hadn't blown up yet, so he could be picking different kinds of players to pair around guys like Shea, Baisley, and Dort.
Yeah, that's a great point. Everything you could kind of count on the Thunder to do in the past may be out the window. This could truly be a new era. He may have a blueprint for what he's looking for in this next iteration of the Thunder. I think we've seen shooting has probably got to be a big part of it, or at least a bigger part of it than it has been for the last decade.
True.
But I also think Poku fits the mold of a guy that could be super valuable
Also
in the
true.
modern NBA because he's just like a giant physical freak that can handle the ball and just create mismatches. Now
he is a giant guard. You hear about these players. No, seriously. You hear about these players who are, he's like Jokic. He's a point center.
Right.
Poku isn't a point center. He literally plays shooting guard. Like I was watching him. He moves off the ball like a guard. He passes like a guard. He forces shots like a guard. He handles the ball like a guard. He's
very similar to he who must not be named.
And can't rebound. So right. Also fair.
Like
that's a good point.
You grow up playing in that role and it makes sense. Unlike me, who hit my growth spurt early and they always made me play center. But like I had about the same frame. I had about the same frame as Pokusevsky when I played basketball, and I got bullied a lot. So Poku,
but you didn't snap anything, and that's what I worry about with Poku when he goes up there. He might snap an app going for a rebound.
Sidebar: the problem with like amateur high school basketball, like I'm not talking like AAU stuff that are actually good, is like there's 2 kinds of centers. There's me that was like the giant kid with the growth spurt who's super skinny and probably not very good. And then there's the guy who's also the left tackle on the football team who's like 5'7", but like 300 pounds.
And he also plays center.
And
that's who you would match up with.
He wins those matchups 10 out of 10 times.
Oh, that's awesome. Hence our concern for Poku. However,
picture Poku on Zion.
The upside still might be worth that risk.
Poku on Zion.
Oh,
just
God.
imagine with me for a moment.
Oh my God.
I'm imagining a Poku snapping in half.
Yeah.
I'd like to see his chalk outline on the ground.
Get him in the gym with Shea. He can bulk up with Shea.
Yeah.
Dort.
What's a watch?
Ooh, New York has long been excited that Dayton's Obi Toppin might drop to them at number 8. That's a great way to say that they're picking Obi Toppin. That's awesome.
Long been excited.
Well done.
So Denny slides at least to 9 to Washington.
Dude.
Did the Wizards want Oubre back?
This is kind of funny.
What if the Thunder just traded all the Suns players back to the other teams they were on before Phoenix?
And then they use their picks to trade for Russell Westbrook. Matt Clarkson had a good point from book. He said every pick so far has made total sense. It's like the lack of workouts has the NBA front offices on the same level as NBA Twitter.
Yep.
I think that is something that'll be interesting to look back on this draft in 5 years, something like that. If the lack of the normal pre-draft process affects talent evaluation, affects, I don't know, sleepers, like if everything just kind of ends up going chalk like everybody expected, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I feel like my gut tells me what it's going to lead to is this may be one of those drafts where in 5-10 years from now, we look back and there's so many good players that were drafted late first round, second round that, like your Pascal Siakams or Isaiah Thomas or wow, what's the Joker? I'm completely blanking.
Jokic.
Like players like that. If there's going to be a lot of those in this draft as we look back.
Definitely. I definitely think there's a possibility of that happening. There's going to be good players in this draft. The problem is nobody has separated themselves right now. Yeah, Onyeka Okongwu crying on TV right now.
There's no crying in basketball.
Mama's crying. No masks whatsoever.
RJ was crying before the draft even started.
I saw that. That's
personal.
Yeah. Half these prospects aren't even going to make it to training camp because they're all going to be quarantined.
What if the Thunder take RJ at 17? He's still there. Oh, I love that.
Oh, dude, my God.
I'm really excited about that.
I love me some RJ Hampton.
Don't tempt me.
He could be a bust also, but I still love him.
Yes. I would 100% support that pick.
I'm going to be if they select Neesmith. Like
he's the least exciting, but he would be a solid
also
player.
Maybe the safest bet. Exactly.
Right. If this Thunder team Thunder team was like a normal Thunder team, I think Neesmith would be a great fit. Dude, he's got the fit tonight. Turtleneck and chain.
Fit. He is, yeah. He's
turtleneck and chain can't be beat.
Some of the no dunks guys said he looks like Pauly D tonight, which I think I agree with.
Pauly D, that's incredible.
Dude, I love it.
Black turtleneck with the chain.
Wherever his draft party is at, I'm here for it.
The turtleneck and chain gives me a little bit of 1990s Dwayne The Rock Johnson vibes.
Yeah, a little
skinny.
Whenever this draft is over, everybody go look up Turtleneck and Chain by the Lonely Island. You won't regret it.
My gosh.
We have a question in Periscope. What about Cole Anthony at 17? I'm out on Cole Anthony.
That's also interesting. I really like Cole Anthony, I think.
I'd entertain it. I don't hate Cole Anthony.
Damn.
Oh, no.
Sorry about that one, Jacob.
Yeah. You had expected Denny Avdia would be available for Washington at 9, but it appears he could make it past the Knicks to them. He's been high on the Wizards board.
That's kind of fun. I kind of like him in.
Fun for everyone but Jacob.
We need to stop the count right now.
Stop the count.
The Thunder drafted Denny Avdia. You won't tell me otherwise.
Recount the draft picks.
I declare the number 1 overall pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Will he get Russ as his point guard, though?
True.
There you go.
True.
Russ and Beal and Denny and
Rui
Hachimura.
Yeah.
There you go.
And Thomas Bryant at center. Not bad. I think they were wanting to take a big, like they talked about Okongwu. So I guess the fact that Denny dropped as much as he did and Okongwu didn't, they went ahead and went with the Denny route. But they're still going to be looking for a big. So can I interest you in one Steven Adams?
Can you afford him?
Can you afford one Steven Adams? It'll only cost you one Denny Avdia.
Is he going to be expiring heading into this season?
Steven?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the positive from a trade value standpoint. Man, I swear I can't handle any more like Thunder reunions on other teams, like Scott Brooks, Russell, and Steven Adams on the Wizards. No thanks.
That's too much.
I'm out on that.
Have that on the Wizards and have Harden and KD on the Nets. That's too much.
Dude, that report that Harden sat in his hotel in the Bahamas watching the finals run games, that made me legit sad.
I know. That's pretty cool.
Like every every storyline that comes out about that trade makes me sadder about it and makes me God, like that one's going to haunt OKC forever. Man, Shams is slipping.
Shams be slipping. Yeah, OB number 8. It's looking like we're probably going to get Denny at 9. Tyrese Halliburton still on the board, guys. Not a huge Devin Vassell guy, but Tyrese Halliburton I think is really good.
Yeah.
He may end up Tyrese Halliburton in Phoenix with Chris Paul and Devin Booker makes some sense.
That would be good.
That could be a really good match.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that a lot. Do you see the clip of CP3 and Booker already getting work in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was awesome.
They're on it.
I love that for Booker.
Yeah. I mean, what we already know as people who cover the Thunder, we already know how great of a leader Chris Paul is. For him to now get to impart that wisdom and that work ethic and how to be pro to Devin Booker, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, something that Booker's never had before. Like, just probably not been around a guy like that. I think that for a team like we always talk about, when you tank, you run the risk of grooming your young players to only know how to lose. And I think that is a little bit of the case with the Suns, but like as they start to come up, bringing in a guy like Chris Paul, aside from just what he brings on the floor, I think helping set up like a winning culture and helping those young guys figure out what it looks like and what the amount of work it takes to be a winning franchise. I think that's going to be huge for the Suns as they try to make a leap.
Definitely. Looking at our mock draft contest so far, I am doing god awful.
Me too. Mine.
I didn't make one. I didn't know we were allowed to.
I am not doing as bad as Taylor Peterson.
Hey, in my defense, that was a test. I didn't put an actual one in there.
Taylor is 29 of 32.
I don't even think I made all the picks. Maybe I did. I don't know. I literally went through and tapped the first name that popped up on each one so we could see if this thing would even work for us. And it works.
Man, we had somebody get all 4 of the picks exactly in order.
That's impressive.
That's impressive. Obi's crying now. Everybody's crying. It's been a heck of a year.
Love power forwards.
Yeah, I was about to say, another power forward to the Knicks? No way.
Shocked, I tell you. I do like this little draft locker thing they sent to each player.
Yeah, do they get to keep all the other hats?
Yeah, what do you do with the other hats?
I don't.
Throw them on StockX.
That's what I was about to say.
Official unworn Obi Toppin draft hat. I like it. It makes it easy though. If there is a trade, usually you get like the awkward moment, and I guess you still probably would get the awkward moment where they put their hat on, but it's not the team they ever end up playing for. But now I guess they could just switch it out pretty easy. Makes things a little simpler.
Yeah, definitely. In the chat, Matt Clarkson asked, does Avdia make the Wiz any better on defense? I think a little bit, yeah. The Wiz don't have wings anyways, and Denny, maybe not a great one-on-one defender, but a high IQ team defender. He's really good.
I don't think he makes them worse. I think that's
good. That's a good point.
But to his defense, it's hard to make the Wizards' defense much worse.
Right.
True.
Right. Exactly.
That is a tall task.
I think the Denny's pick is a grand slam.
Stein has it. Wizards are selecting Israel's Denny Avdia. Shams just had it as well.
Waj is in his bag tonight.
Denny Avdia to the Wizards. That's upsetting. Oh, well.
I need Nick to be here right now because we need to talk about how Nick looks exactly
he can put the hat
like
on. Yeah, he can put the hat on.
Does Nick have a Wizards hat? We need to send Nick out on the town in a Wizards hat.
Does anybody have a Wizards hat?
Fair point. Maybe like one of the throwbacks, like Bullets hats. I could get on board with a Bullets hat.
That'd be pretty cool. So
Gilbert Arenas could get on board with the Bullets hat.
Amazing. Who's this kid in Obi's lap?
I don't know.
Like his brother? I'm here for it. I like it. I like the strangeness of virtual drafts.
Yeah.
Forget the green room and the fancy tables, like chilling in front of the pool table with an iPad in my lap.
Oh, I didn't realize he was in front of a pool table. That's funny. That
Gonna
is
get
kind
a
of
game
funny.
in after this.
So we know Denny's
to the
going
hat.
9. So we will see
Who's on the clock at 10?
10.
I need
Phoenix
the Suns. Yeah, duh, because we wanted that pick.
Yep.
We're gonna get a surprise tweet that the Chris Paul Suns trade has been amended to include.
Kamiar said, "Sorry, Jake."
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Suns are trading the number 10 pick to the Thunder.
Bran
For
in the
Chris
chat.
Paul. Oh wait,
Bran in the chat asks, "Who's playing power forward for the Knicks?" Better question is who's not playing.
who's
power
not playing
forward
power forward for the Knicks? Yeah.
I think Julius Randle's the only one that's actually still on contract. I think. Who do they have? Did they have Bobby Portis and Taj Gibson and Julius Randle?
Yeah.
Wow.
Are they all still under
I
contract?
bet. I wonder if one of them will be gone.
Portis and Taj, I don't think are.
Yeah, that's fair. I think Portis was a team option, if I remember correctly, or player option. Probably player option. Because we were looking at Chris Paul trades. Or playing around his contracts. What's Woj saying? I have my volume down for the live stream. Can you guys see what Woj is saying?
Got to get that closed captioning game on, bro.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point.
He's talking
So
about Leon
I-
Rose really liked Obi Toppin, basically.
Yeah. I haven't seen it's okay. John and Sam Vicini is now retweeting it. It seems pretty set in stone that the Thunder are up
trading.
to 17 now, right?
That's awesome.
Nice.
I can't wait.
So
It's
25,
even more fun
28
now.
Rubio
We don't know
to
for sure who
17.
their team.
Yeah. 25, 28 and Rubio to Minnesota for pick 17. So the Thunder did climb the draft board up to pick 17. As we await pick number 10 to come in, I think Silva is getting out of here. Silva, thank you so much for joining us for the first
See you,
third
Silva.
part of the draft, man.
That was fun.
Finally. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude, take it easy. And we will get you back on the podcast soon.
For sure. All right. Have a good night, guys. See you later.
See you, man.
See ya.
Oh, I didn't know I could click people's comments and throw them up here. So whenever someone
Oh,
gives us a comment,
Ooh, look at
that's
that.
really cool.
I like
Learning on
that.
the
And it gives
job.
their picture. That's awesome.
That
Matt
is awesome.
Clarkson, does Dia make the Wiz any better on defense? Not so much on defense. On offense, absolutely.
Yep. Here, we'll show this one. We traded Rubio and 2 picks, presumably for Poku. Hope he doesn't disappoint.
It's a good point.
Yeah,
Me
I said
too.
Brienne earlier. I feel bad. Bran.
Brand.
we'll see. We'll see. We don't know really what it's going to look like. We don't even know if that's even who it's going to be, though. So it's still up in the air.
Yep. But like
Denny.
I said a couple times.
Oh, look
like,
at Denny. What a baller. He's got like this a super nice
Yeah, he
wine
is.
cellar.
Is that why Nick had to jump off the pod? He had to go down to the wine cellar. In case y'all don't
holy
know,
crap, he's tall.
Nick looks
They look
exactly
identical.
like Denny.
It's wild.
It's terrifying.
We need to get him to send that picture again. We can pull it up here in the video.
when Nick was in media
Here, I'll find
availabilities
it.
for all the prospects.
Oh, it's wild.
He took a screenshot, and I mean they could be brothers. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's wild. I think Denny's going to be good, guys.
Yeah, we know. No, I agree. I think Denny's going to be real good.
Here we go. XG Graphics asks, is there any picks we could get at the moment for Kelly Oubre? Any teams that make sense?
Oh, yeah, I think we could. Will it be as good as Presley's probably hoping? I don't know. But honestly, I thought the Warriors made sense, especially Clay's going to be out. And the Mavericks also, I thought, is another good fit there
Yeah.
to play alongside, especially while you wait. I mean, that gives you cap space for 2021 because Oubre's and expiring. A lot you can do there.
Yeah, I think
who
the Mavs
else?
are interesting. I think
I'm trying to find this Nick Denny picture to show everybody.
If the Thunder are set on 17 and they think that they're going to get what they need, I don't know that they're going to look to get more picks tonight. Maybe. If they trade Oubre for a pick, it's probably a future pick at this point.
You think so?
Fair.
I mean, what else are they going to do tonight? Unless they're still looking to move up.
Yeah, I mean, I think the question out there is, do they look to move forward into a future draft, or are there two prospects they're really high on? And can they go get two guys?
17 and 18?
Yeah, or maybe, I think Oubre makes sense in like Orlando, for instance. I think that can make some sense, something like that. So
yeah,
that's fair. Somebody brought up the Gallo signing trade. We haven't mentioned that yet. So Keith Smith, amongst others, talking about how the timing of the Al Horford trade, how it's going to be really interesting how Preston constructs that, because I guess depending on the timing, you could still keep Gallo on the book and therefore still be able to sign and trade him. Sorry, I'm like multitasking, watching me talk. Anyways, there's still a chance for a Gallo sign and trade with Al Horford trade, which is interesting.
Yeah, no, and it really comes down to if the Thunder stay over the cap or go under the cap.
Right.
There's no penalty for being over the cap. It's not like they're over the tax. So there's a chance that they expand the Lakers trade into a 3-team deal, and they're able to work that and still be able to keep Gallo, and then pull off a sign and trade for him, which I think is still very much a possibility.
What happens tonight?
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I think that, I got nervous when they announced the Horford deal that wouldn't be possible anymore.
Me too.
But what you got, Taylor?
Mike Schmidt says on Avdia, I think he's going to be the steal of the draft.
I told you!
I was waiting for that.
I told you he's going to be the steal of the draft.
That's amazing. I mean, yeah.
Everybody's quiet. I feel like something's happening with this next pick.
I feel like whenever it gets quiet, that means the Thunder are involved.
Oh, Kevin O'Connor just replied, all these potential trades just went down the drain, shaking my head, laugh out loud. Georgetown Ginger looks drunk.
Hey, come on, man.
That's hilarious. Georgetown Ginger is going to be...
I did just spill my beer on the desk and had to go get a towel to clean it up. But
unfortunately, it was not because he was drunk.
This is the first one, I promise.
Oh, that's hilarious. I might have spilled my beer. Goodness.
Well, guys, these are
the joys of live streaming. These are the things
that's right.
that you don't get when we
record. Get to see us in all of our glory. No editing.
Yeah.
Sure. Brody said hello. Say hello, Brody.
No, wow. The Suns taking Jalen Smith at number 10.
Holy cow.
That's the surprise so far. Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I like it.
Whoa.
I think I like it.
That's kind of like them taking Cam Johnson last year.
Yeah.
I didn't look much into Jalen Smith. I need to. What is he? The kid from Maryland?
He was projected to go like as late as the 20s.
Oh my gosh! Doesn't Tyrese Halliburton just make the most sense at the San Antonio Spurs?
Oh no, he is totally going to go to San Antonio, isn't he?
But they don't need another guard. I mean,
that's a match made in heaven.
Why do they need another guard when they have DeJounte Murray and Derek White and all of them?
Let's see what our timeline guys are saying. The timeline podcast, which is the Phoenix Suns Blue Wire podcast.
Yeah.
They haven't said anything yet, which is shocking.
They're in shock. They're speechless.
Probably because they're doing I think they're live streaming. Oh, nope.
I know. Is he Ayton's backup?
Mike,
is that his role?
I have a love-hate relationship with this a minute ago, but I felt like that was a little before the pick. That's a wild pick.
Our guy Laz Jackson, who does
Sam
the
Vicini.
What did Vicini say?
Vicini says, "Well, there goes my first player that I had a second round grade on."
Ooh,
Wow!
Yikes!
Wow!
Wow!
Our guy Laz
the
Jackson.
TV's caught up.
Our guy Laz Jackson from the Detroit Bad Boys podcast quote tweeted the pick and said, "I learned my lesson with Cam Johnson. I ain't saying shit." Touche.
That is awesome. That's funny.
Jalen Smith at 10 is really interesting.
They like their guy. More power to him. I don't know though.
Yeah.
You have Chris Paul now.
Feels Presti-esque.
It does.
To just like say, forget where we're at. This is who we want.
He's shocked. Look at him. He's like, I didn't even know if I was going to be drafted in the first round.
I love seeing all these different backdrops.
Oh, I know. Everybody's different backdrops, and apparently each potential or each player got a like all 30 teams hats.
Yeah.
So, which is different than usual, right? Sometimes you like get a hat and then you get traded.
Right.
This way, I don't know. I found it interesting. They get all 30 hats, so they have 29 hats that they can just throw away or give away or whatever.
So Sean in the chat, he wants to know, does Horford stick? We talked about it a little bit at the very beginning of the stream, but I don't think you were on then, Taylor. So what do you think? How long do you think Horford is a member of the Thunder?
Oh boy. So I kind of thought that maybe Presti had another trade lined up for him tonight, but it doesn't seem that way. So I would say that we're going to ride out Horford kind of like we did CP3. And if he is able to raise his value enough at the trade line, Presti's going to try and get more picks for him, which is absolutely absurd, but he could do it.
That feels like
so
the
that's
most
kind of my guess.
scenario
Trade
to me.
deadline, or maybe it's a CP3 situation where we're talking about him next offseason.
That would be weird.
It'd be
like with the
weird.
amount of times that we've just hypothetically discussed Al Horford to the Thunder
because of Chris Paul trades. And Chris Paul got traded and we still went up without Horford. Oh, yeah, true.
We've been hypothetically
Kevin
discussing
Durant
Al Horford
thing.
on the Thunder for 4 years.
Yep, since July whatever.
Yeah, since July
2016.
Mm-hmm.
Good times. Bad times.
What about James Johnson? I feel like he'll just be around. He'll be on the bench.
It's a good point.
I'm not sure you can flip him. And
hopefully he's not like pissed off. Maybe he'll pull like an Andre Iguodala and just not show up. That'd be kind of nice.
He's not good enough to do that.
He's
Although,
also fair.
You don't want to piss him off. That dude has a black belt. He will
also
punch the shit out of you.
Some good players are falling. That's exactly what so Niner by nature said that, and he's exactly right, or she.
Who's your favorite guy on the board, Jacob?
Favorite guy left?
Yep, favorite guy left on the board.
Tyrese
Halliburton, and RJ Hampton.
Yeah.
I like it.
Those are my dudes.
I think I would have said Hampton.
I'm trying to think who else. I kind of need to like be looking at a live draft board right now.
Who's on the Thunder longer? Al Horford, Steven Adams.
Ooh, I'm going Al Horford.
God, I don't want to choose that.
I
think I'm going. I think I'm going Al Horford.
I think so too. I think
makes
so
me want
too.
to vomit. That makes me want to vomit saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to smash steaks, mate. That's all I want.
And we have a great question in the chat here. If neither are traded, who starts, Horford or Adams? Or are you starting both of them and bringing Bays off the bench?
Yuck.
Ugh.
Don't like that.
I feel like, look, Horford, here's the situation. You're here. Let's try and make the most of it. Please keep a great attitude, and we're going to trade you as soon as we can.
Yeah. I mean, if you bench Horford, aren't you in turn tanking any trade value you could build up for him?
That's the problem.
That's a good point
problem
too.
with having them both.
That's a really good point.
Because you're doing that to Steven too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, that sucks.
Al Horford starting power forward for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I mean, it could be in the immediate.
What about free
future.
agency though? We're talking about drafts, like draft night tonight, but we have there's so many trades that go down during free agency.
Right. If they're both still here for their value on the market, it could be the most beneficial to start them together and bring Baze off the bench.
Yeah.
And then maybe you just stagger the minutes. So Bazley's still playing like starter minutes, but is not starting. I don't know. I still don't like that.
San Antonio selecting Devin Vassell.
Wow.
They went over Halliburton.
Surprising.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Huh.
I don't know about that.
I don't either. Vassell's definitely another Spurs guy, but it's like, I mean, he's literally comped to Danny Green, isn't he?
How is Tyrese slipping so far?
What's wrong? What do we not know? What made rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fascinating. I mean, Vassell makes sense. Good defender. Feels like a Spurs guy.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's like super exciting, but so that kind of makes him a Spurs guy.
Yeah.
We're
getting asked, is the Rubio thing done?
It seems like it.
I think it is. I'm pulling up John's Twitter handle right now. Still says in talks. Sources Timberwolves in talks. It looks like it's still in talks.
But then he followed it up and said that Ricky Rubio is coming back to Minnesota with definite language. And then somebody confirmed his tweet saying that the deal is done. And the Thunder, I didn't know who that was, but he was like, he had 13 point something thousand followers. Oh, it was the Minnesota Tribune or something like that.
Interesting. So I think it might be done then.
That's what I wish I could find it. I probably did it.
Man, my man Tyrese Halliburton is going to go 12th to the freaking Sacramento Kings, isn't he?
We get a Sam Presti presser tonight. So,
that's going to be fun.
There. Yeah, so we might have to stop podcasting until Nick Nick's done with the presser.
The presser.
Interesting.
Nick's so official.
Heck, what the hell are you going to do with Al Horford?
Adrian Wojnarowski. The Kings never imagined Tyrese Halliburton could get to them at number 12.
Yeah.
But
Poor
here
Tyrese.
he comes.
But here he comes.
Yeah, how do you like to be Tyrese Halliburton reading that?
Oh, man.
We should go to a live feed of Tyrese Halliburton dropping a plethora of F-bombs.
That is kind of so. Yeah. No trades in the top 10.
I'm telling you,
now
we were fooled again.
Bamboozled.
Yep, there we go.
Swindled.
Sacramento is selecting Tyrese Halliburton with the number 12 pick.
Wow, good pick.
Good pick for Sacramento. I feel bad.
How does he fit next to De'Aaron Fox? I mean, they're both versatile guards, but I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think Kings really consider fit.
Yeah, that's a good point. Huh.
Kings just kind of pick guys.
Sean said, "Who are we taking at 17? Please, not that post." Right?
Hey,
Poku.
I'm just telling you guys that are live streaming us right now. Get your credit cards out. Get ready to go. You want to be the first with a Pokemon shirt. I'm telling you.
We got it up on the we'll have it ready to go up on the stream.
Gotta draft them all.
Oh, there it is. Justin perfect.
Well, yeah.
This is gonna be so much more fun. We can do this in person. Can you imagine all of us sitting together at a brewery or somewhere, or a restaurant somewhere, and they trade for Al Horford? I know COVID ruins everything.
We had a watch party set up for game 1 of the playoffs at
Prairie
OKC Tap Room. And we were way ahead of the game, had it locked in. We're ready to go. And we're probably getting kind of close to announcing it when COVID hit.
Yeah.
New Orleans has been discussing trade scenarios with the number 13 pick. Please, 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 please.
Interesting.
JG Brown, JD Brown brings up a great point. Feels like we're officially at the beginning of Poku and Nina territory. Hold on to your butts. Sadiq Bey is another one that's falling. Ooh, that's a good one. Niner by nature. This is fun. I like being able to see your guys' chat and interact with you.
This is fun.
Yeah. This has been awesome so far. I think we're going to start doing a lot of our podcasts this way as well. So, except when we do the podcast, I'll make sure my freaking mic actually works.
Famous last words.
Using this instead of like doing periscopes and stuff for like emergency reactions to things like for agency, we'll jump on here and be sure to do this. We can have some video and streams to all of our different social medias, except Instagram, because apparently this website doesn't like Instagram.
Yep. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it's like that.
I don't either.
I wish we could.
I'll try and look into it and see if I can connect our Facebook to our Instagram, and then we might be in business. Because Facebook owns Instagram. I don't know. Halliburton's girlfriend. I missed Halliburton's girlfriend. Oh, wait, no. Hey, congrats to Tyrese. Also, congrats to the draft pick.
Interesting. I'm starting to get nervous.
Yeah, we're getting
I'm
close.
starting to get the butterflies again. Oh, I keep missing. Oh, people are just liking my poor Tyrese tweet. Tyrell Terry. Oh my God.
I like Tyrell Terry.
We haven't talked about Tyrell. That's one of my draft crushes. Like very beginning of March, whenever Nick got tipped by somebody within Forbes, who told him that Pressey's been looking into Tyrell Terry and was really high on him. And I fell in love because I thought that he was going to be the next Steph Curry. And he ends up not being that, but I still really like him.
I was waiting to see where you went with that.
And he's not there. But
yeah,
somebody's going to like edit this video of me saying that Tyrell Terry is going to be the next Steph Curry.
That's what I heard. I like him though. I think he's a good shooter. I think
next to Shea.
I think KOC compared him to CJ McCollum, which I think is a good comparison.
That's true.
Yeah, I think the CJ comp is pretty good.
It's pretty good. Who else is left on the board?
We need to pull up a big board.
Big board. We need more technology in here. I need like a screen behind me that I can touch.
Looking like CNN on election night.
That's exactly what I was going to say. All right, if we have to bet right now, Poku or no Poku? Jacob?
I'm going Poku.
Poku versus the field.
I'm taking Poku.
I think I got to take Poku also. I'm not taking the field on this one. Whew.
I'm taking
man,
Poku.
I'd be so happy about Tyrell Terry if that happens.
Do you think he'll drop that far?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't think Jalen Green was going to go 10. So I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Poku. Is it Shevsky? Pokushevsky?
I believe so.
Pokushevsky. Pokushevsky. Kevin O'Connor pronounces it Alexei. I've heard Alexei. Sexy Alexei. Pokushevsky.
Gonna have to learn a new accent character now that Schroeder's gone. We can replace it with the I don't even know
Alexei
Pokushevsky. Little thingy over the S. I have to figure out what that's called. That's like a go-to Twitter joke during games, though. You just tweet a word that has an umlaut in it whenever Schroeder does something. Now we can do that for Poku, but with S's.
It's perfect. So here's a good question for you guys. Do you think that Sam Presti only makes one draft pick tonight?
No, he'll select at that 34. I bet he selects at 34.
Oh, we still have 20. There's point. Good point.
Yeah, Nate Sanders
but
says
if we had Gallo.
Nate Sanders says Rubio trade hasn't even been confirmed by Woj or Shams. Thoughts? I think it'll get there as we get closer to the pick.
Yeah, I feel like Woj and Shams are busy. As strange as
Yeah.
that sounds, like I feel like
They'll
they're
wait
kind of
until we
focused
get
on
to the pick.
the picks rather than like I don't know. Maybe when they get there, it'll say like the Thunder are selecting at or something. I don't know.
True. JD Brown. I keep saying JG. JD asked. It's Matt Clarkson asked. Is Poku is the sub 200-pound 7-footer? Yes,
That is
He is
correct.
that
Yes.
scrawny twig 7-foot shooting guard. That is him.
Looks like we
going
have.
to snap when he runs.
Looks like we have Kira Lewis at 13 for the Pelicans.
Oh yeah, he was mocked there by a lot of people today. All the updated ones had Kira Lewis going there.
The point guard out of Alabama. He's pretty young.
Yep.
Solid. That's a good pick.
Sophomore?
Although, it makes me
yes.
wonder what they're going to do with Alexander Walker.
Oh, they'll still keep him on. He'll probably be a backup guard for them.
True.
Now
That's
that
fair.
now that Drew's gone,
Yes, exactly. So we're now down to 14. We're getting really close to Thunder territory.
Getting
Boston
warmer.
here, guys. I'm gonna make a
to 53. Holy cow.
I'm gonna make a prediction here that
Yeah.
the Boston Celtics are going to select RJ Hampton. I think that just makes too much
Ooh,
sense
that
to
does
them.
make
right.
sense. He's been mocked there too by a couple
Mm-hmm.
different mocks I've seen.
yeah, that makes sense. I don't like it
Don't
though.
know until Dallas is. Oh, yeah, that's fair. People are asking about that Gallo sign trade. Oh man, it's gonna be
Well,
complicated.
and here's the thing: they can't sign and trade Gallo right now because Gallo's
Right.
not even a free agent yet.
Right. That's the key.
also
Isn't it
true.
Friday,
Being
right?
principal.
Friday at 5
Friday
p.m.
at 5.
Yeah. So
Speaking
You
of
won't-
which, we might end up doing this at 5 p.m.
Yeah, I was about to say, hell, we'll probably be on here Friday at 5 again. It's
Heck
not like
of a
we're not doing this
2
enough
weeks
already.
for-
Well, hey,
Right.
since we have more people in the chat as well, real quick, if you have not subscribed to the Uncontested podcast yet, make sure to do so, as tomorrow we are dropping a free agency primer podcast with our guy Keith Smith of Yahoo Sports. So make sure you guys are subscribed so you can automatically download that podcast. We're going to cover league-wide and Thunder free agency. Should be a really interesting conversation. I'm sure we're going to dive into a ton of stuff with Keith as far as how all these trades are going to work out for
It's
OKC.
awesome. I love Keith.
Yeah, so it's going to be a really good podcast. So if you have not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the Uncontested podcast wherever you get your podcasts at. And we'll give you guys a quick. Oh, Maxi's still on the board too. That's a great point. I like Tyrese Maxey a
Ooh,
lot.
I do also. Good point,
Let's
Brand.
see where we're at on the. Oh, my boy Troy Stanberry is number 1 in the Uncontested podcast mock drafts contest.
Update. Now, Shams just tweeted out saying that New Orleans plans to keep Kira Lewis. This isn't a
There
trade.
you go.
What's
There
the
you go.
Uncontested podcast? Well done, Jonathan.
Our boy Dorian tied for number 1 in the mock draft.
Ooh, this is rigged. Cheater.
Where am I at?
This is the
I'm
worst draft since
21st.
Vietnam. Oh my
Bro.
god. Sean with the
Instead of getting drafted, Tyrese Halliburton just wants to spend 2 years in federal prison. Dorian's in there. Yeah, Dorian, you're tied for number 1 right now, bro.
no way. That's funny. Oh man.
Dorian, you should remember him. Mr. Stanberry from high school is tied with you for number 1.
His teacher is tied with it. That's incredible.
Yep.
Oh man.
Oh, this is exciting. I feel like the Willy Wonka
Celtics.
gif of
Boston
This is
targeting
terrible.
Aaron Naismith. I was wrong.
Ooh,
there you
Poku
go,
it is.
Taylor.
Or maybe RJ Hampton. Or maybe Tyrell Terry's. It's so exciting.
I didn't expect Hampton to still be on the board.
He took my phone once. I got to beat him from Dorian. That's awesome.
Did he really? That's funny.
Wow. Aaron Neesmith. Interesting.
Huh. I like it. I like him.
Poku to OKC.
Oh my god.
It's all falling together. What if number 16 is just like, yeah, watch this. Oh, take that, Presti.
RJ Hampton to OKC then?
I would love RJ or Maxi. Both are great. Yes, both of those.
There's a lot of good choices on the board right now.
Yep.
Maxi, RJ.
I feel like the Thunder are going to get a
Poku.
decent pick at 34 also. Crazy.
This is interesting. There's a lot of guys. I didn't expect any of those guys.
My dog decided he's going to be at another news. Say hi, Brody. That's Brody, everybody. The one who's really loud and interrupts all the podcasts.
Good boy, 10 of 10, would pet.
He is a good boy. He's just sometimes loud, but he's a sweetheart. So is Rumble. They're the exact same. Loud but sweet. Oh, man. I'm getting excited, guys. I'm getting really excited. I'm kind of nervous.
Another comment here. One horse speculating that Orlando might be selling off. If so, could see them taking a shot at Poku. There's a possibility. Is Orlando's on the board right now, correct?
Aaron Gordon to OKC, right?
Yeah, Orlando is on the board.
Okay.
Yep.
They're right after Boston.
Yep.
I think I'm going to look like an idiot because I'm going to keep saying this. RJ is going to Orlando.
That makes sense. It really does. I kind of like that fit.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I like it better than OKC.
Where are the trades? That's funny. Man. Orlando is targeting Cole Anthony.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So Jacob, where's RJ going?
Oklahoma City, baby. I've been high on RJ for a long time. And I'm not high at all on Cole Anthony.
Wow. Speaking of high, Cole Anthony might be.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
I didn't mind Cole Anthony, but that's a little surprising.
That's extremely surprising. He was boxed like 20-ish, all the way down to in the draft.
Did you see the clip of him where he said that he was a big Thunder fan growing up?
I did see that. He gave a good interview. He really did.
This is me like being an olds, but like it weirds me out when people say they were a Thunder fan.
I grew up watching. Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I don't like that at all.
True.
It's so weird. But like, yeah, like a lot of these guys grew up in like the Kevin Durant Thunder
Forgot
era.
The Celtics have 3 picks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, pick number 15 is in.
We're close.
If we are correct that the Thunder have traded for 17, which it seems like they have, we are 2 picks away from the Oklahoma City Thunder, meaning someone is going to go next, and then after that, the Thunder are on the clock.
Dude.
I wish we would get like.
Wow.
I don't want to sound like conspiracy theory kind of guy, but like it's hard for me to trust reports if they don't come from like one of the big 3. You know,
Totally agree.
Woj, Sham, Stein. So, I guess we'll see. But I'm waiting for the official word.
What's Ari Abraham up to tonight? Anyone know?
I love it.
Oh, good guy. Good guy.
Sorry, Ari.
I was going to mention 2 other reporters' names, but I won't do that.
We'll hold our tongue.
So who goes at 16?
Ooh, I had a friend of mine just replied to one of my tweets and said, "Give me Precious." He's a Memphis fan, so he really wants Precious. But honestly, that's not a bad pick. Jay Bilas is best available. Oh, because pick is just now in on TV. But he has Cole Anthony at 1, Neesmith at 2, Precious at 3. Speaking of Precious, Tyrese Maxey at 4, and RJ at 5. All guys we've talked about.
So,
which means that Presti's going to pick Poku or somebody just completely off the radar.
At 16, we have Portland. You guys, you know who makes a ton of sense for me at Portland, and maybe they don't go this route because I suck at this predicting who's going to get picked thing. Sadiq Bey, size, can shoot, can defend the piss out of people. Sadiq Bey fits a need for the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah.
You get
think that makes sense.
Sadiq Bey with Robert Covington in there, and you've got a
Sadiq Bey
good
does make sense there. He
Okay.
does. That's a good point.
Yeah. Where's that leave?
Huh.
Where's that leave Melo?
Could also see Portland trading this pick if they could get a vet. But I feel like that would have already happened by now. That wouldn't really be a draft on the buzzer trade. Precious's brother is God's gift. I think I remember seeing that. That's wild.
Bro, look at
Or is it maybe
has
he's
this
making a
pick,
joke.
the
For some
Portland
reason, I
pick?
thought that was actually a thing. CJ gone. Did Portland trade the pick to the Rockets?
Oh yeah, you're right. That's my
Good
fault. I'm
point.
dumb.
But then the
Yeah.
Rockets just traded again to Detroit.
To Detroit.
To Detroit.
God
So
bless.
Yeah.
Detroit's making this selection.
Can't keep up today. Okay, so who goes to Detroit? Man, Detroit.
Who did
could use-
Who did Detroit take earlier? They took Killian Hayes.
They took Killian Hayes, so they're going to big probably. They have what's his face, Sadiq something or another,
Sekou Demboya.
or Seko Demboya,
Sekou, yeah.
Sadiqa who
Sudoku. Old
Portland
boy
got
Troy
Covington. Yeah,
Weaver.
true.
Troy Weaver's first draft voyage up
It's
there.
a big draft for Mr. Troy.
Yeah, it is. Jacob Dye. That's
Yes.
unfortunate.
Oh, lost of Jacob.
Oh, can you guys not see me?
Oh, we
He's
can hear you.
Oh, there we
Let's go.
go. I was going to say, if we lose Jacob right
my
before the
back.
Thunder pick, it'd be rough. That would be rough. Oh, yeah, Thon Maker.
So it is still weird that nobody's tweeted officially about OKC and Minnesota.
Minnesota, there it is, right on cue from Woj.
Oh,
I think you just.
all
you just
right,
built-
Minnesota.
built
There
that
it is.
into existence,
Speak it
Taylor.
into existence. I'm speaking RJ Hampton into existence.
A package that includes 17. So we don't know what else is coming.
It's James Johnson. We know it's
Yeah.
James
Package that
Johnson.
includes number 17. Interesting. What if we get what's his face? Drug and gun charges guy.
He's a Malik Beasley's a free
Malik
agent.
Beasley. Oh, dang it. Never mind. I like Malik Beasley. You know that guy who got arrested, that one.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, guys. Well, the Thunder are about to be on the
Close.
clock.
We're
I need a paper
close.
bag.
All right, I'm going to tweet. What do you guys think? What are you thinking?
I'm gonna say RJ to the Pistons and Poku to the Thunder. That's how I feel saying that.
I kind of think you're right. I think the Thunder are going to go with Poku. I think they promised him, even if RJ's on the board. It's going to be a Terrence Ferguson situation where you want him to take OG.
I can't wait for the tweet that says the Oklahoma City Thunder are selecting some name we haven't mentioned all night.
Yeah.
Because
Hey.
that's what always happens.
Robert Woodard, or yeah.
We need to tweet a meme of like baby Ricky Rubio that says how it started, and then grown up Ricky Rubio returning to Minnesota saying how it's going. That'd be a good
I
one.
meant like actually like a baby picture, and I
Oh
wasn't
no,
sure
not like
what
an
you were
actual
going
baby
with.
picture, like whenever he looked like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Hey, Rubio, could you send us your baby picture? Swear a graphic for my podcast.
Isaiah
Say
Stewart.
Stewart.
RJ's there. RJ's there. Let's make it happen.
Dude.
Oh my gosh. Come on, Presty, work your magic.
I mean, I've been so sure about Poku until this moment.
Oh my gosh.
we need to workshop RJ Hampton
Wow.
t-shirt ideas.
Wow.
Oh man.
Wow.
All right, it's coming up, guys.
Oh my goodness.
The Thunder are officially on the clock. Let's see what we get. Shoot us in the chat. It's probably going to be RJ or Poku. Shoot us
Everybody's
your
saying
guesses.
RJ, which means it's not going to be RJ. It's going to be Poku or somebody random.
The tweet's going to say RJ Hampton in with 2 N's. OKC.
Boom.
There's a shirt idea. Not a very good one, but there's a shirt idea for you.
Shirt I did, nevertheless. Would Poku be there at 32 potentially, as much as he's dropped? I kind of think so. I don't. Yeah, I think that'd be late.
But do the Thunder take RJ and then try to move up to take Poku?
Detroit GM Troy Weaver worked with Stewart's college coach Mike Hopkins, Syracuse, as an assistant coach before coming to the NBA.
Ooh, all right, guys. Thunder are on the clock.
Oh my gosh.
I'm dying inside.
RJ Hampton, please. I'm seeing a lot of RJ Hamptons.
I think we have a chat full of Hampton fans.
We do have a lot of RJ fans, which is going to be the same exact thing that happened when OG Anunoby was on the clock and we took Terrence Ferguson.
Yes.
So I'm just expecting the unexpected at this
Philadelphia 76er legend Terrence Ferguson.
Oh man,
gosh! I just looked at the actual draft for the first time, and it says that the Magic pick is in. That's fun. That's cute.
Pick is in.
How many picks ago was that?
Green.
2, 3. I don't know.
No, they're already talking about the top perimeter shooter on ESPN, Josh Green. So the Thunder are going to take Josh Green. Desmond Bane. What if they took Bane this early?
Someone's saying the Nets are trading 19.
Ooh.
Thunder trading up to 19 to take Poku after they take RJ at 17?
I like it.
Probably not.
Interesting.
Let's do it.
Where's this Nets?
John says sources tell The Athletic Minnesota that Rubio quickly warmed to the idea of a return to Minnesota when the subject was raised to him.
There you go.
Oh, that's cool.
He did get a say. That's nice.
He was excited to go home.
That's heartwarming.
Look at Presley. What a guy.
What a guy.
He wants to.
Sadiq Bey is here.
They're not going to take Sadiq Bey. I would be shocked. Out of everyone on the board, I think Sadiq Bey. I think he's good. I just don't think he's going to target him.
I hope
so.
We're
thinking RJ Hampton, obviously. Poku, Tyrell,
Nets and Pistons. I've seen people tweet about it. I can't find the report.
Tyrese.
People talking about Sadiq in our comments. Oh, okay, that's Niner. That's all Niner. Niner's a Sadiq Bey fan. There's no words.
Tyrese Maxey.
No rumors.
Oh wow, was that Spikey at Cole Anthony's watch party?
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I like
Pistons are acquiring another draft pick, and it won't be long after. We'll select Isaiah Stewart, 16th overall, and they're going to get that Nets pick. Wow.
Interesting.
Wait, the Detroit just got 19
from the Nets.
Why am I not saying this? Who's
Troy
tweeting
Weaver's
this?
wilding out.
I had to go to. Well, I've been seeing a lot of talk about it, and then I went to Nate Duncan's timeline and just scrolled through and saw him retweet the. Oh, where'd it go? Gosh dang it! I can't find it now. Here it is. Duncan Smith.
That makes sense.
Pistons are acquiring another draft pick per sources, and it won't be long after. Minnesota. Alexei Pokuševski, and that's the Thunder's pick.
There we go. Minnesota
going to OKC. They did it.
OKC. Pokemon.
Poku.
Thunder
pick that was promised.
Yeah, I love
it.
Yowza.
Poku.
All right, how do we feel, everyone? There's a lot of no Poku, please RJs in the chat.
I can't believe they passed on RJ Hampton, which means that they are really high on Poku.
Yep.
Wow.
We heard the smoke. We heard and heard and heard and heard and heard.
Hey, Mike Vahill of the Timeline Pod with the Suns, he says, I love this. He's a huge Poku fan.
I love it. Give it the home run swing.
Yeah. Home run swing, baby.
It happened. Like how many times has somebody that has been
promised
the Thunder actually end up on the Thunder?
Yeah. I'm guessing OKC moved up to jump Dallas for Poku, but we'll know in a minute here. Wow. So they did. They jumped Dallas because they knew Dallas was wanting Poku because he was mocked there in a lot of mocks. Wow.
Huge upside swing for the Thunder. Might as well, right? Screw it. Might as well
Somehow
take
the
team.
worst kept secret over the past week. John Hamm. That's funny.
Dude.
Poku, get the shirts ready.
Oh, no, I'm literally doing that right now. I don't know if you can see this.
Oh my
double
gosh.
laptop action. Yeah. This is happening.
Oh man. I'm kind of excited.
Hey, good news is when Poku gets to OKC, he'll probably gain weight pretty quick. Have you seen the restaurants we have?
Welcome. This is an American
Send that boy
cheeseburger.
to Charleston's immediately.
Yeah. This is Mahogany's. You're going to eat here every single night. See these 2 steaks? Eat them.
That boy's going to be eating like tomahawk ribeyes every night.
Every night. Man, I want to see Poku. See if he even has a camera. He's been so off the grid, which is such a Thunder thing. Like, telling their draft picks not to.
Well, okay, so that's a great point. The other day when he was supposed to have his media availability,
He canceled.
at the last second he canceled. And Nick put that in our Slack and was like, that kind of feels like a Presty thing.
Feels like a Thunder thing.
Nope, you're not going to talk.
He better become Jokic. A fair point.
Telling you, put on his diet right now.
And here's the thing is we know so little about this kid. It's hard to make a judgment on him. We know so little about him. I think they're going to bring him over as quickly as possible. Hopefully just this year. But we know
experience.
Yeah, we know so little about him. We don't know really. We've never even seen him play before. So there's so much up and down with this kid. Maybe he does end up being great. Maybe he struggles. Who knows? But, it's going to be interesting to see kind of how he develops over the coming seasons and what he evolves into. This isn't a short-term play. I mean, the Thunder just traded and acquired Al Horford today to get a 2025 first-round pick. They're not playing the short game. They're playing the long game here.
Exactly. Sorry, I'm reading through tweets just to get.
Fascinating.
Pokemon.
Oh, what? I just went to upload it and it said your artwork is being reviewed to make sure it applies to copyright standards. It's never told me that before.
So Twitter liked our idea and they're stealing it.
Well, how long is that going to take?
All right, listeners, how are you guys feeling? I've seen 2 so far. He better become Jokic. Fair.
And hope that he's the sleeper of the draft.
Sleeper of the draft. Also fair. How else are we feeling? Who are we taking at 34?
That's a good question.
Another high upside guy. Maybe RJ Hampton pulled a Dort and told teams that he wasn't going to sign with them if they took him. And so Thunder are going to get him. Yeah. He's probably going to be the next pick. Now let's sign and trade Gallo for 18 and take RJ. Yeah, I'd love that. Oh, I got to sit back.
Man, no one wants a Poku jersey. I do. Why not? Give the man a chance. This is going to be like when everybody booed.
He'd be working millions some days.
Y'all are going to look like the little kid that cried when the Knicks.
Dallas is selecting Josh Green with the number 18
Wow,
pick.
why is RJ slipping so far?
Yuck.
That is surprising that he is slipping so far.
That is surprising.
Oh, Clippers are trading Landry Shamet to the Nets for number 19. Wow.
That's interesting. Huh.
Interesting.
That might be go after? That might be your RJ home right there.
Yeah.
RJ,
there you go, boys.
You're exactly right.
Can you guys see it on the stream?
Thunder select Poku. Oh wait, no, can't see your screen yet.
We're trying to show the shirt mock-up. Maybe.
I thought I had it.
I didn't. It's not showing.
Well, maybe I just don't know what the heck I'm doing.
You just rotated us.
Yeah.
We're winging it.
So
Winging
there's
it.
a little button
There's
here
Poku.
that says share screen. Oh, Poku, he is. Look how tall he is. Look at our skinny Serbian. He's beautiful. I love him already. He's perfect.
How do you even tailor a suit like that?
I want to listen to him talk. Youngest eligible player in the draft. Dad posted clips of him on YouTube, prompting call from Olympiakos coach. Moved to Greece at 13. That is awesome.
Let's listen in.
Look at him go. Poku is Slenderman. Slenderman. He is Slenderman, but he's our Slenderman. That's going to be his NBA nickname. That's going to be his NBA nickname, Slenderman.
Yes.
Trade back in for Bane. He might be there at 34. What were they saying, Jacob?
They're just
I'd rather
gonna
have Peg Halliburton's girlfriend than Poku. Sean, you dog. So how many bigs do we have now? A great point. Although as wild as it seems, we were talking about this before for those of you that are just now tuning in. Poku is a 7-foot guard. He basically played guard. He didn't bang down low. He didn't get rebounds. He's had incredible court vision, shoots the ball really well, can handle the ball really well for his size, but just has no strength or size. And so he's going to have to bulk up. He could be really good, though. Those rumors about OKC having the draft promise is true.
Oh, here we go, guys.
Pistons and receiving Luke Kennard. Clippers. Okay, the Clippers are sending number 19. Oh, there it is. That's awesome. Go buy your shirts. We already have them ready.
Well, we're trying.
Kind of. Sorry. Fair.
Soon they'll be ready.
The Clippers are sending number 19 pick via Brooklyn to the Pistons and receiving Luke Kennard. The Nets received Landry Shamet. Interesting. The Pickens are, huh? Oh, well, they already took Killian Hayes, so they won't take RJ too. Huh.
You guys get ready to buy your Pokemon shirts. I mean, I know a lot of you guys have kind of said like you don't like that they drafted this kid, Alexei Pokushevsky. We're all entitled to our opinions. I think Presti's probably done a little more draft homework than the rest of us. You know,
I don't know. I watched a lot of YouTube.
So I think that's
a very fair point.
You know, I think he probably knows what he's doing. Everybody misses. He's taking a swing for the fences.
Yep. Yeah. And like we said earlier, like if you're going to do it, this is the year. This is the beginning of reposition and replenish and whatever else you want to call it. This is the start. This is the time to take a swing, because if it fails, that's okay. It doesn't really derail your rebuild process. But if it hits, I think it might speed it up a little bit.
True. So here's Sam Vecini on the pick. He says, I think Oklahoma City jumped Dallas so that they could end the night with Pokusevsky. NBA insiders have known for a long while that OKC has been enormous fans of Poku for a long while. So yeah, there you go. The Thunder were able to get their guy. They liked him for a long time. And I trust OKC's scouts. Wonder where RJ is going to end up.
That is, yeah. Interesting. Does Poku break when Adams backs him in?
Oh my God. Talk about baptism by fire. Here, Poku, go learn from Adams and Al Horford and Darius Baisley. Good luck. I think we trade up again for Maxey or RJ. That'd be cool. That's the other thing. Tyrese Maxey still hasn't gone yet.
Right.
Can we be completely honest for a second here, though? Kind of happy we aren't starting the season with Ricky Rubio.
Yeah.
Great guy.
It didn't
Not
make
feeling
sense. Yeah, it didn't make sense because you would have to start Ricky and put the ball in his hands. And I think the Thunder want the ball in Shea's hands nonstop this next season to see what he can do.
Exactly. I think it's a good point. Very good point. But we need a backup point guard now.
Do you? You have Jalen LeCue.
No, you're right. I forgot he
Jerome.
plays point guard.
Yeah.
Ooh. I didn't realize. I was thinking they were shooting guards. Kind of like Commies and Bergs.
Yeah.
Also, I have to
Interesting.
update my spreadsheet now, guys.
Hollinger just
Nerd.
have to update my spreadsheet now. No, thank God he is, because we don't know who the hell's on OKC right now. Hollinger just said, this is from Sean. Hollinger just said he believes James Johnson's head to OKC. So that makes sense. That's what everybody kind of figured. And Hollinger probably is more in the know than anybody. Interesting. We aren't getting any details, though.
Yeah. So here's what I got. The Thunder have in this draft selected at 17. They now have their own pick as well. Or sorry, not their own pick. Their own pick at 34. Actually, Philly's pick at 34. And then they have their very late second round pick, which is in the 50s. The current roster, I just have it broken down into three groups. We have guards, wings, and bigs. For the guards, we have Shea, Lou, Hami, Ty Jerome, and Jalen LeCue. The wings, we have Oubre, Baisley. We'll see what they do with Gallinari, Andre Robertson, Isaiah Roby, and now Poku.
Oh, hey, Laz just said he can come on.
Hey,
Let's get him in here. Yeah, I'll send him a link.
Yes. Awesome.
And then for the bigs, we have Adams, Horford. We'll see what happens with Muscala and Nerlens Noel.
Is targeting Sadiq Bey. Wow, so it's going to be fun to get. So Laz covers the Pistons. And it's going to be really fun to get his input here because they've had a huge draft.
I'm getting Laz in as we speak.
I'll be right back. Hopefully beat Laz. Ooh.
Justin, you take over for just a second while I go let my dogs out, and then we'll let Laz in.
Okay. Hi guys. I'm trying to get you a Pokemon shirt for sale, but I'm currently fighting the internet on that. Laz is going to join. Laz is the host of the Detroit Bad Boys podcast, which you should check out. Even if you're not a Pistons fan, Laz is awesome. I'm not drunk, despite rumors and falsehoods. I am wearing a Patrick Ewing jersey, though. Hey, Jacob.
Hey. So for those of you who are interested in a Pumon shirt, we're trying to get those up as quickly as we possibly can.
I'm creating a new store that won't try to censor me.
There you go. We have the First Amendment, buddy. We're allowed to do what we want.
Dang right.
Just waiting till we get Laz in here and get Taylor back. We also have another guest upcoming here shortly. So the Pistons end up getting Sadiq Bey and Killian Hayes. Those are two really good picks for them.
Those are two good picks for them.
Here's a fun question. Poku plays for the Thunder this year, right? Not the Blue. Yes, I think he's going to play for the Thunder. The Blue.
Will there even be a Blue?
It's looking like there is going to be a G League, from what I've heard. The Blue in the past has been used as kind of a farm league to develop talent. You don't need to try to develop talent now on your G League team. I mean, you just go with the guys you got and you roll with it. Is Poku draft and stash? I don't think they're going to stash him. I think they're bringing him over ASAP. So, all right, we are now going to bring in
Laz.
Detroit Piston own.
Yes.
host of the Detroit Bad Boys podcast and Pistons versus every Laz Jackson. Laz, how's it going, man?
It's going great. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
yes,
hear you
sir.
well.
All
Sound
right,
good?
perfect. Awesome.
Hey, so Killian Hayes, Sadiq Bey, how are you feeling?
And
yeah.
Isaiah Stewart.
And Isaiah Stewart, which was the more surprising one.
There you
It's
go.
funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was so I'm recording I'm recording the Pistons versus Everybody podcast post draft in segments, right? Trying to give people like a little bit of like how the night is going.
That's
And
cool.
so, before the night it was like, oh, Patrick Williams is, got the target, the guy the Pistons are targeting. And I think he still was one of the guys they were prioritizing, but to have him go at 4 is like, that was pretty surprising. Right. And we knew 4 was kind of the swing spot of the draft. But yeah, like now we've got a interesting collection of dudes that have all gone in the top 20. Luke Kennard was the trade of Luke Kennard, I think, was like something that the writing was kind of on the wall. You never heard any extension talk, which I think was like really a really big indicator that like the Luke wasn't long for the team. And that's not to say he's a bad player. Like I think Luke will have a lot of success in the Clippers, actually, like as a guy who can create his own shot off the bench and kind of play off of some of those better guys. Like I think he'll actually thrive in that role. But
Laz Woj just tweet out that you guys are getting Rodney Magruder also.
Okay, I'll take it. Some little vet experience.
Yeah, that's right.
We got a lot of open roster spots, man.
That's
but yeah,
awesome.
it's been a good draft. It's been a good draft.
I was gonna say
And
I'm super impressed. Troy Weaver.
Yeah, speaking of Luke Kennard as well, he was in trade talks back at the deadline, which feels like 10 goddamn years ago.
Yep.
But back in February too, I think Phoenix, is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah. And that deal fell apart because of pick protections, right? Like I don't know where the Phoenix was slated to go, but like before the bubble, but the thought was like they wanted to have that pick maybe like top 12 protected, and the Pistons probably wanted a lower protection than that. And that's why that deal fell apart. And so I guess like if you say like, you theoretically like could have had a top 10 pick for Luke Kennard, and instead you got like the 19th pick. I guess that's a downgrade, but again, like just the contract situation with Luke was always kind of the big like blinking red light that something was up.
Definitely. So Laz, so far tonight during this draft, what's been your biggest surprise?
I think Patrick Williams at 4 is the biggest surprise. Tyrese Halliburton falling to 12.
We thought that was big also. Yeah.
It always made sense to me just because a lot of the teams in the top 10 didn't need what Halliburton does, right? He's not a great not a great off the dribble shooter. He's more of like a connecting piece. And so I think like having him in that role kind of next to De'Aaron Fox, who is a primary ball handler, I think that'd be a really good fit for him. Who else?
Jalen Smith at 10.
Jalen Smith. Yeah,
you know what? I tweeted this. I was like, after Cam Johnson last year, like I learned my lesson, man. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, that's so fair. It very much felt like a Cam Johnson pick. We all thought he was taken way too high, and like you said, Laz, he ended up being, great for them last season as a rookie.
Yeah.
So
fits into a role, right?
Yeah, right.
So we'll see. But for you guys,
Pokusevski, the pick that was promised.
He's coming over, right? Like he's already in America. Yeah.
He's in Greece.
We had somebody in our comments and in our chat.
Here. I link it in here right now. The Guard Whisperer has already put up pics on Instagram of Shea and Poku working out together.
So this has been promised for a while, apparently.
Okay.
So they're in the gym. He's over here. He's going to be playing for OKC. He'll be interesting. I don't think he's going to
throw him in the fire, get him the experience. Yeah.
So
try and bulk him up.
So now you got Horford, you got Steven Adams, you
crazy.
Got Poku, and so you're assuming like that's great. You're assuming Gallinari is not coming back. We got the Deontay Burton news a little bit earlier. Like, what do you think the rotation is going to look like? Are the Thunder done making moves? They got two centers making $20 million a year. That's not great.
It's not great at all.
20 million's undercutting it, buddy. I think they're both making north of 25.
Great pick.
Conventional wisdom would tell you one of the two centers has got to be out the door, right? it's been rumored since before the Phoenix trade even went through that Sam Presti was shopping Kelly Oubre Jr.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, depending on how they conduct the trade with Philly to get Al Horford, they may still be able to hold on to Danilo Gallinari's cap hold and flip him in a sign and trade. So I think the Thunder are a long way from being done.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree completely.
Yep.
I mean, you have the whole war chest of picks, right?
Right.
So you can make any move you want to make.
And that's the thing too. I almost wonder if it gets to a certain point where, but that's just not Sam Presti. You know, he's not the guy to just go and make a trade just to make it. You know, I have Al Horford, so I have to trade Steven Adams. So I'll trade him just for, you know, whatever. He has the luxury to do that now, but that just isn't who he is. So I'm extremely curious how he's going to negotiate that and work that out. You know, we were even talking last about the Wizards. Denny Avdia, you know, dropped far enough to them that I don't think they thought that they were going to get him.
Yeah.
And so they have Thomas Bryant, and he's a good young big. But what would happen if you traded for a Steven Adams? And you have maybe a healthy John Wall, maybe a Russell Westbrook. We'll see.
Bringing back
Bradley
Bertans.
Beal. Yeah, but you can bring back Davis Bertans. You have Denny now. You have Roy Hachimura, who's going to continue to improve. And you bring in like a Steven Adams. That could be an interesting spot for him. I just wonder if there's maybe more spots for Steven right now than there is Horford just because of the contract.
Yeah.
With Adams being expiring. But I wouldn't be surprised when it comes, you know, if we're talking a year from now with you and talking about how Presti was able to flip Horford for more picks.
Yeah.
Which is just wild. But
yeah. Steven Adams, I think,
fun.
would be an interesting fit in Boston, right?
I do love that.
Sorry, what was?
Oh, I was going to say, I'm pulling it up now.
Celtics will get Adams. That's funny.
Yeah. So
I'm with you.
There's an interesting fit there, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, no, definitely. And they've needed a center, like a traditional, like Joel Embiid stopping center for years now. And so I think that would be interesting. And, you know, I wonder, though, the Celtics are kind of an instructive, you know, example for the OKC with all these picks. Yeah,
absolutely.
Like we saw a little bit that, like, you know, Boston in the trade with Brooklyn, like it worked out, you know, at a high level because they picked up Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. But some of those other picks, they weren't necessarily able to take as much advantage of.
Absolutely.
And we're seeing now that, like, I think they're going to be looking for some veteran experience this offseason because, like, they need some more vets on that team.
Like you said, they need a big.
Yeah, the daycare center's full, right? Like, you can't have your whole team be under 25 guys. Yeah.
Right. But before we, and I want to continue this conversation, but let's also we're just going to get the whole goddamn Blue Wire squad in here today. We've got Ty Windish of the Year podcast jumping in with us. Ty, how you doing, man?
Awesome.
I've been better, but I'm glad to be here. I've been better. Yeah, I've definitely been better.
It was good to see you.
There we go. Tyrese Maxey to Philadelphia at pick number 21. Tyrese Maxey got the board. RJ's still on the board, guys. RJ's one of my guys. I'm high on him. Still on the board. Okay, before we continue that Steven Adams talk, because I have an idea I want to float out here. Ty, I got to ask. What the hell, bro?
Yeah.
They just didn't know you can't trade for a free agent?
This is what happens when you do trades with the Kings. The Kings don't know how to basket.
They don't even know you're supposed to call the front office, bro.
I don't know if this one's on the Kings. I don't want to say too much. I don't know that much. I really don't know that much.
Giannis texted him, said, "Hey, I'm not so sure I'm signing this extension."
That's been floated out there. I'm 50-50 at this point on if it's a real smokescreen and, like, somehow everybody involved, nobody realized, like, hey, we can't announce this yet, by the way. Like, this isn't legal. That fair. Might be it. Or it might be like Bogdan just wants to go somewhere else. I still find that a little unlikely. He's like Giannis' one NBA friend who's not last name Antetokounmpo. So I don't know why he would decide suddenly he wants to really go play for the Hawks or wherever. It's possible. I think it's the smokescreen thing. I honestly have no idea what's going to happen. It's probably, and this is saying something, but it's probably one of the wilder NBA stories I can remember. And there's still a lot left to play out.
That's
but it's
fair.
Pretty much just a nightmare because, like, the whole, like, we had one day was like, oh, we have the greatest offseason ever. And like now, like no idea literally no idea. So now I'm just like, oh, interesting. The Pistons got Isaiah Stewart. Oh, wow, I'm really invested in this draft right now. But there is a lot going on otherwise too we can talk about.
So,
Goodness.
hey, we talked about this earlier on the stream. Could it be something like this leaked out? It got in the hands of Woj and Shams, and then another team heard these reports and said, oh, Bogdan, we were going to pay you a shitload of money, but now this has already been announced. So now he's saying, oh, whoa, let's pump the brakes and let's get that offer sheet in. That way we can drive the price up with Milwaukee.
That's definitely possible. That's definitely possible. The Bucks only have so much they're going to be able to pay him.
The Bucks are creeping up on the hard cap, right?
Well, maybe not. If the trade falls through, they might not be. But yeah, they are. It was going to be really close. Like I had seen one report that Bogdan might take a pay cut because the Bucks will have their MLE and they might even have the bigger one, but they wouldn't be able to use all of it because of that hard cap, like you pointed out. We were looking at them grabbing like 5 second-round picks tonight. I guess we'll see what happens there. I think right now they have 2 as we currently stand. There was a controversy about what second-round pick was coming from the Pelicans. There's a lot going on in Bucks world, a lot up in the air right now. But It is possible that Bogdan got another deal. I think regardless of if it was an offer or not, the rest of the league was pissed about this, is what I'm hearing, both reported and from a few other people who are tuned in. The league is not happy that this deal happened before deals should happen, which come on, rest of the league. How many deals do you guys all have already? But because this is the bigger one, it's someone changing teams. It's because it's Giannis's
championship
team.
Contender. So
yeah, everyone wants the Bucks to be blown up, to be honest, too. So it's interesting. I wish I had more concrete answers, both for this podcast and my own sanity sake and the podcast I'm going to do later. But right now, it just seems like the one thing we don't know is we don't know anything. Or the one thing we do know is we don't know anything. Yeah, we don't know anything.
That's a good point, though. Is this like Adam Silver coming in, Ty, and saying, hey, this is tampering. I can fine you a lot, and you won't get the trade to go through. Or we can just not do this trade. Which sucks, but
And maybe some of it is just that it leaked and got reported, like you mentioned. I mean, are any of us delusional enough to think that Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, there's not like Woj and Shams don't already have tweets drafted and ready to go? As soon as free agency opens, it's going to be an avalanche.
I don't know, guys. I saw Anthony Davis on Chris Haynes' show, and he was like, I'm a free agent. I don't know where I'm going to end up. So, who knows, man?
Giannis and AD together would be wild.
There we go.
On the Bulls with Cristiano Felicio. That's my favorite Photoshop on NBA Twitter is AD and Cristiano Felicio. Shouts to AD for learning some comedic timing in Hollywood. I'm very impressed with him. That was a funny clip. I will give him credit for that.
So, hey, let's circle back real quick. I want to go back to the Steven Adams conversation we were having before. And last, you mentioned Boston made some sense. We also know that the Atlanta Hawks are interested in Gordon Hayward. Could the Thunder...
Atlanta has 3 centers now.
Yeah.
They do.
Can the Thunder sneak into a potential Gordon Hayward trade and be the third team, send Adams to Boston, Hayward to Atlanta, and then the Thunder get back some sort of asset in return? Does that make sense?
That does make more sense than what I thought you were going with Adams to Atlanta. I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, we're talking a possible 3-team deal. I mean, and like you mentioned,
when you throw in like 24 and 30 and some stuff, maybe the inglorious return of Enes Kanter to Oklahoma City, perhaps.
Yeah, that's right. Bring him back. OKC's golden boy.
Yeah.
I mentioned Kanter.
I mentioned and what Atlanta does, like, what do they do with John Collins? You've already got, Dedmon. You've got Capella. Now you've got a Kongwu who's going to be kind of like a hybrid 4 or 5 switchable kind of guy. It seems like John Collins might be the odd man out in Atlanta.
Either that or they think they can play him and a Kongwu and Capella together, right?
I think Capella might be the odd man out, honestly. And they might just sit on all of them. I think both with Capella and Steven Adams, I don't think the Hawks or Thunder feel any need to move those guys today. And it's not sourcing, but I just don't see why those teams would be like, we need to unload this guy right now. I mean, if you come to camp, if you're Atlanta and there's no minutes for Dwayne Dedmon, I mean, the team will get over it. Like, they'll move faster. That's not a huge deal. He's not integral to your team. It's whatever. I think it was smart of them to take Okongwu if he was the top on their board, and I'm sure he was. But I think Capella is a guy you could see move, which kind of stinks for you Thunder guys because like he's in the Adams tier of like a good veteran center who
that's fair.
A team can go
so that
get.
could
I think he's going to be out there
for
too.
Steven. That's a good point.
Yeah.
No, okay, so one guy we haven't talked about yet. I was wanting to get Laz's opinion on this. And Ty, I want your opinion too. Killian Hayes. Laz, were you stoked when you saw that pick? How are you feeling?
So I had
and Ty, I want your opinion also.
I had Killian Hayes 1 on my board. So
so you're
in my mind, when you can get the best player in the draft at 7, like that's a win. So I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. Absolutely.
I'm not gonna argue with that on that either. I mean, he legitimately could be the best player in this draft.
And he's a perfect fit in Detroit, right? Like the thing that Detroit was missing was a point guard who shouts to Derrick Rose, but could, create their own shot, get good looks for other people, and play more than like 25 minutes a night without you feeling like his knees were going to explode, right?
That's true.
Yeah, and like I was thinking of like how he would fit with Luke Kennard in the backcourt, but like that, we're gonna move that aside for now. The Pistons look like a very, very different team. I got to sit down and honestly like think about like who the Pistons are gonna be next season, like what their starting lineup's gonna look like.
Bro, join the club.
Yeah.
Join the club.
We don't even know who's on our
you guys
team
know,
right now.
right?
So we have Poku and we have Shea, Dort, and Baisley.
The rest of them are kind of up in the air. Yeah.
Yeah, can't relate at all, guys. No idea what that's like.
Yeah.
So,
fair.
Yeah, but
Ty's just trying to figure out if his trade's going through or not.
I love Killian Hayes, and
Good.
I'm sad that Tyrese Maxey didn't make it to Milwaukee though. That would have been good for you, Ty.
Yeah,
fair.
I don't know if that's their pick or not, honestly, anymore. Maybe. I think that's New Orleans' pick still, but I don't trust trades anymore, Laz. The one thing I didn't scout. I don't scout anybody, but I didn't look that much into Hayes because obviously I knew he wasn't coming to the Bucks no matter what. I've heard really good things. I know KOC also had him 1 overall on the big board. It seems like he has a lot of potential. I don't like to use astronomical comps, but I see a little bit of Luka-esque just in the fact that like some of the knocks against him, I don't know if it matters the way he plays. Like I don't know if it matters if he's not the springiest, most top-end athlete. Like if he's smart and he makes good reads and he's a playmaker, you can still be a very effective player for a very long time. I want to ask you, Laz, how do you feel? Is there actually a relationship with him and Sekou from back in the day? Like there is a real French connection, isn't there?
There is a real French connection. Killian talked about this in the pre-draft media availability. There's a YouTube video of them just like doing like a one-on-one in French that I've watched like 100 times just because like the like you can't. I don't speak French. I can't understand them, but the chemistry is like quite clearly there, right? And not that I think Sekou is like, we don't know really what like Troy Weaver thinks of Sekou, honestly, because like he's coming in and evaluating everybody. But I think that pairing, like that on-court chemistry, is definitely going to be there, and I think that's going to help benefit both of them. Like,
that's a good point. Now, we talked about this. No, we talked about this, Ty. Remember, like Sekou had a hard time kind of adjusting at first to the NBA life, right? Like he was in the G League a lot early. He was in Grand Rapids, which is like not the place I'm sure he thought he was going when like he's like I'm going to the NBA and you end up in Grand Rapids. That's like not what you thought it was going to be. Grand Rapids.
Yeah. But like I think having someone that he can kind of share that experience with, having somebody that is a little bit more mature than I think he was at the time he was drafted. Killian is a very mature dude. If you read profiles of him and you like watch the way he answers and responds to questions. And so I think that is a great fit. That's a legitimate French connection. Detroit basketball.
I love that. Last thing on the Pistons, I really like that it seems like all the guys they're drafting are like real hard work culture guys, like defense first kind of guys. I think that's only going to be good for Sekou too. Like get everyone on the same page.
Yeah.
Build that culture of grinding. That's how you get improvement from young players.
Yep.
Very good. Hey, quick update on the draft. It looks like we have I don't know how to even pronounce his name.
Najee, I thought.
Najee from Arizona going to Denver.
That's interesting.
I like that.
That's maybe a he's. I know you're just trying to take the best available player, but as a power forward, he maybe slides in as their backup power forward now, where we assume Jeremy Grant's going to assume their starting role with.
He opted out though. He's an unrestricted free agent.
Well, yeah,
true.
but he opted
But
out
he-
because he deserves a hell of a lot more than $8 million.
That's fair. Very fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Very fair.
I think this could almost be a backup center play too. I think their Plumlee is out too, right? Their Plumlee, I think, is hitting free agency.
Oh,
their
that's true.
Plumlee is an
Their
unrestricted
Plumlee,
free
one of
agent.
the Plumleys.
Mason, I'm almost positive Mason. Mason is
I
a free
couldn't tell
agent
you.
too.
I was laughing because I agree. No, you're right though. That's a good
But
point.
guys,
Plumlee is big.
you're not asking the real question. What does this mean for the bowl experience?
Ooh.
There you go.
Tall ball ass. Go all in. Play them all together.
There
Bol is a shooting guard. Poku,
Najee,
shooting guard.
MPJ, Bull. Like we
MPJ.
just got the long boy.
MPJ would make a great point guard. No, that is, in all seriousness, that is extremely interesting. It's almost like let's take as many chances as we can get and see who plays out.
Yeah, and Paul Millsap is probably moving on from Denver as well, I think.
That's true. So that opens up one front court spot.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Portland linked to Paul Millsap, which would be a bit of an interesting fit. Who did Portland draft? We've been doing so much shit. I can't even remember who's been drafted.
No, they traded their pick to
yeah.
us. Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
They
right.
traded
Yeah.
that
To
was their
Houston,
reason deal.
who traded it to the Pistons, and that's how you guys got Sadiq Bey.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I was going to mention that Troy Weaver, being a St. Presti disciple, Sadiq Bey feels like such a St. Presti draft pick. He feels like such a St. Presti draft pick with a little more shooting promise. And I think that's what I really like about Sadiq Bey. He's not Andre Robertson. He's Andre Robertson with the jump shot, and that's good.
That's good. I think he's a little bit like less athletic than your classic, on
Presti Weaver pick. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but definitely like that, like hardworking, like guy who like knows his role, is athletic and like 6'8". Like that's something that like I think Troy Weaver has definitely done. He's definitely bringing in like. We had a bunch of like 6'4" dudes on the team, and like now we got a bunch of 6'7", 6'8" dudes on the team. That's
which is good.
Probably
and
an improvement.
Youth. A lot of youth, which is awesome.
Speaking of Killian Hayes earlier, I wanted to throw out, in the pre-draft stuff and watching his game, I know Ty mentioned, he's maybe got a little bit of a Luka style to him and his deficiencies, kind of like Luka's where maybe it doesn't matter. This is a stretch. I'm not saying he's going to be this player, but I've always looked at Killian Hayes as a little bit of not really a Harden, but more of a who was I going to go with? I totally just lost it. Never mind. That's awful.
It happens.
Killian Hayes as a Ginobili?
Ginobili, there you go.
Yeah. I got you.
He's got the lefty, the craftiness, the ability to make all the passes. He gives me Ginobili vibes a little bit.
That's purposeful. He watches a lot of Ginobili. Ginobili has been a big influence, on him and his game. As just like, if you're, which is like not a bad thing, right? You're a 6'5" like lefty who's not super athletic. Like that's a good guy to try and emulate.
Yeah. Definitely.
I like realistic. I like when players have realistic comps. I'm always a big fan of that. Like I think Tyrese Halliburton is like big on how can I be like Sean Livingston? Like I like stuff like that. I think that's good for players to come in and emulate the correct players as they work toward being an NBA. And I know his dad showed him a ton of Magic Johnson. I think that's ambitious.
Awesome. I love that.
But some of those flashy passes, I think, come from watching a lot of Magic Johnson clips as a kid. They go completely off track to a different player entirely.
Are you guys up?
I don't think 23
I was going to ask.
No, so I don't think 23 has been made.
Talk to me. I know you guys are still a little unsure, but of the remaining players on the draft board that you think are realistic targets for Milwaukee, who have you and Rohan kind of been talking about? Who are you favoring right now? What's your thoughts?
So I bullied Rohan into going all in on Desmond Bane. I think he would be the absolute
honestly though. That's a good
Bucks pick. I think he'd be the perfect Bucks pick. Again, I don't think they have this pick. And I think there's. I don't know who. Do we know who has 23? I honestly am not sure who's picking
New York
right now. Oh, they just picked
New York.
Balmaro.
Okay, that's a good pick. I'm curious if he comes over or not.
I think it's been reported that he's staying over. He's staying over.
Okay, so he'll stay one more year.
Barcelona. Yeah, he's going to be at Barcelona for at least one season. So that's a draft and stash. Interesting move from the Knicks. Maybe they want more vets now to compete. But so Bane is on the board. This is the exact scenario I was hoping for Desmond Bane to fall. I just think you talk about guys who know their role. Like he very much is trying to be a smart, good defensive player who shoots and makes threes, can get to the rim a little bit, but
can defend.
Yeah, can definitely defend. Like he is a perfect Budenholzer kind of wing to have.
That's
as much
true.
as I cringe on still needing good Budenholzer players. If it's their pick and they come away with Bane, this would be a glimmer of hope on an otherwise pretty bleak day.
Ty, you didn't make the Obi Toppin as a veteran presence for New York joke, and I'm very disappointed in you.
I'm glad
We
I
gotta
left
get
it there
the
for you, though.
gotta get the Knicks Wall guys on here, and then we'll
Yeah.
Then we'll let them know.
Yeah, man. Poor Kyle.
Poor
probably,
Kyle.
Kyle's
I saw
going
him
through it
tweet.
right
I
now.
actually read it on the live stream. I read his tweet and was like, "Oh, poor Kyle." He was just happy they didn't trade up, and I can't blame him.
It's tricky, right? Like I heard that was reported by somebody in Charlotte that the Pistons were trying to trade up to 3 to get Patrick Williams before the Bulls could.
Ooh,
and it's like,
yeah.
I mean, if you would have gone all the way up to 3 to draft Patrick Williams, I think that would have been
a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, especially with I didn't love LaMelo, and I had heard rumors that the Pistons didn't love LaMelo either. But I don't think like collectively Pistons fans could have handled like trading up to 3 and not taking LaMelo. I think that would have been that'd been a little bit too much for them to take.
So we've gotten quite a bit of this in our chat. I'm curious to get all of your guys' thoughts on this. RJ Hampton still on the board.
Yeah.
Is that a bad sign? Like, are we missing something there? Obviously he's a kind of another swing for the fences kind of draft pick, I think. What about Ty, Laz? What are you guys thinking on RJ?
I'll defer to Laz first. I know Laz is going to know a little bit more than me, but I agree with your take in swing. I think someone is just going to pop up and take him and just hope for the best at this point, which is, I mean, at this point in the draft, it's not a bad idea, honestly, we think this guy might be good someday. Let's just go for it.
Jake and I are kind of there too. So I'm curious.
So OKC has that the 28th pick, right? Like
we traded to Minnie for 17. So 28, 25, and 28 we traded with Ricky Rubio. OKC Thunder legend Ricky Rubio.
So Minnie just made another trade, by the way.
Oh
yeah.
Minnie got
Go for it.
So they got the Balmero. They got the 23rd pick for 25 and 33. So they got the stash and they gave 2 picks to the Knicks.
Okay. Are the Knicks? I mean, if the Knicks didn't draft Obi Toppin at 8, I would be kind of really complimenting them for the night they've had so far. You know, trading down, acquiring assets, kind of like trying to build. But like
that's a good point.
To get Obi Toppin at 8, it's just like.
But were any other of the top 10 prospects CAA clients though? Because that's kind of a no-go for them if they weren't.
That's a good point.
And if they don't play power forward,
they needed another power forward. Hey, real quick to interrupt the stream. I've dropped the link here over us, but the Pokemon shirts now live. Justin has been in the lab. He has emerged.
I had to change the color to orange instead of yellow so that T Public would stop rejecting it, thinking it was the Pokemon logo.
Oh,
gotta skirt them algorithms.
Ooh, New Orleans.
Hey, Blue Wire has attorneys now. We're in good
Here we go. Yeah. New Orleans picking RJ at 24, trading him to the Denver Nuggets.
Denver. Okay, that's spicy.
Wow.
Yeah. So RJ was liked by the Pistons, and he's just very raw right now. But he's got great athleticism, high character kid. Another guy who watching his interviews, I'm like, sounds like a pretty smart, pretty mature kid. But like he's just really raw right now. You saw the reformations he made to his shot with Mike Miller. I think that was extremely beneficial. But like defensively, he wasn't always in the right place, and he has the mentality for it, but not the ability right now. And but like you can't teach that level of athleticism. Man, Denver's really just doing.
They swing for the fences.
They are.
They swing for the fences. That's kind of a Denver thing, right? Like I kind of like them for that. That for them
Absolutely.
that they do that. Like they're in a good position. Like they could absolutely always take guys like Bane, like the guys like we know he can play. We know what he's going to be. Instead, they're like, you know what? We have a couple roster spots and a lot of good players. Let's try to develop another boom in one of these roster spots. And you got to, I mean, MPJ seems like it's working out. Maybe if he can stay off Twitter and not talk to anyone ever.
If he can stay off Twitter.
We did get bad news though.
I was just about to.
Like.
Yeah, go for it, Ty.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
good. I get to read this one.
Okay.
According to Chris Haynes, Yahoo
Sorry, Ty.
sources,
Yeah.
the fear is that Klay Thompson has suffered a quote significant Achilles injury. There's going to be an MRI tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Just brutal bummer of news. Nobody ever wants to hear.
That's wild.
It's right before the season too. I mean, who wasn't excited to see more Klay Thompson after this layoff? And
I was excited to see this Warriors team just in general with like the Lakers and with the Nuggets, like we mentioned, and I mean the Rockets previous to the past 2 weeks.
And we talked about it at the top of the show, but the fit of Wiseman in Golden State, I mean, it was the most seamless fit at the top of the draft. You know, it was just so natural. And you know, now they lose out on probably having Klay for the season, and those guys aren't getting younger. You know, the Klay, Steph, Draymond, they're in their 30s. You know, there's a shelf life on those guys. Even though their games aren't predicated on athleticism, there's a shelf life for those guys. And it sucks for them that, you know, they're kind of seeing that prime slip away with these injuries.
Yeah,
RJ does not seem very happy right now.
Yeah, RJ does not seem super pleased to be
pissed
to be out of the lottery. Yeah, I mean, like you hate to see what happened to Klay just from an injury standpoint. But also like I wondered if that would impact their draft decision making. I wondered if that would cause them to, you know, swing on another guard like LaMelo at 2. I wondered, and now I find myself wondering like who they're going to try and bring in to fill that slot, because if like I'm remembering correctly, like there's a lot of like Jordan Poole and like Kai Newman that you probably don't want to put in a starting lineup with Trey, Dre, and or Steph, Dre, and Andrew Wiggins. Actually, maybe if he win by Andre, he'd be more.
He'd be better.
Like 35% better player today.
Hey, I'm just saying. Kelly Oubre slides in perfectly to that trade exception that the Warriors have. Slide us a pick, and we'll call it good. We need more. We need more.
I don't think you do.
Every single first round pick.
You know,
just give us that Warriors 2021 pick, and we're happy, man.
Ooh, okay. So Niner by nature in our chat here brings up some good points, or a good point.
We got an OKC pick, Taylor.
Oh, we got an OKC pick.
Oh, well, wait. That's the pick they traded. Dang it.
It's selecting a
never mind.
Point to the Knicks.
The end of this draft.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I liked quickly. Well, it's really funny because
now he's a Nick.
Niner by nature said
he went in the first round?
He went in the first round,
With
second round. Thunder were connected to him in the second round because he had worked out for him out for him once, had like 3 different interviews, and they were pretty high on him.
Yeah, I mean, with guys like Jaden McDaniels and Tyrell Terry still on the board, quickly is a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
not a CAA guy. I'm stunned. Rock Nation, I can't believe it.
Right? Isn't Rock Nation CAA?
Are they?
Wasn't that the thing that was like LaMelo? Remember, like for 2 seconds when LaMelo was with Rock Nation?
I think
for like 2 seconds,
barely.
And people were like, "Oh, like that still ties into the Knicks because the Knicks have an influence in Rock Nation." But yeah, like it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
That's an interesting pick for New York. I kind of like it though. That's a guy who can shoot the heck out of the ball. Also athletic, kind of one of those Kentucky hidden gems, you know, where there's so much talent on that team. They kind of have to fit into a certain role. So like, I guess the Bam Adebayo effect, where you don't really get to showcase your full skill set until you get to the league. Devin Booker's a great example. De'Aaron Fox, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Tyrese
Maxey. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think quickly kind of falls into that category. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. It's also really weird seeing, I'm looking up at the TV, seeing his name next to OKC, even though we aren't getting him.
It's very confusing.
Well, talk about confusing this. So the 24 is just being referred to as a New Orleans pick now by everyone, which is weird because 25 is still like it's an OKC pick going to the Knicks. 24 is just being called a New Orleans pick. So I don't think that trade is actually like on the NBA books yet. But
so you're going to get that pick.
Sure. Well, Shams is still acting like it's New Orleans. So I think the Drew trade is done-ish. It'd be fascinating if it wasn't and it gets somehow revoked and the Bucks end up with somebody they didn't necessarily want. Everything feels like it's in play, but my big takeaway right now is someone's getting a real steal with Desmond Bane at 26 or later. If this guy goes to the second round,
Terry.
Yeah.
Tyrell Terry too.
I think that was kind of the thing with this draft, though, right? Like this draft was always going to be really deep between like 16 and 40, right?
Yeah.
And so there are going to be guys, we like Tyrell Terry, like other teams like Desmond Bane, other teams like Quickly, like clearly because he just went top 20 or top 25. And so like there's going to be some guys who get lost in the shuffle a little bit, but that are still going to turn out to be really good players.
Yeah, and I always kind of thought the draft order might seem weird to us the night of this draft, just even beyond 16 to 40 or whatever the range is. There just seemed to be like a few tiers in this whole draft, right? Like there was the top tier, maybe the top 8 or so guys. And honestly, Halliburton fell out of that one. I didn't expect him to. I just think like the caliber of prospects were all kind of really close together. So we're going to see some weird stuff. I mean, Phoenix did a Phoenix thing, of course, but the last one worked out. So I noticed no one's clowning Phoenix for this pick, which I find inspiring. True. Phoenix shut up all haters for 1 year with the last weird first round pick they made.
While Detroit might be my one of my favorite teams of the draft so far this year, just with the trades that they made and the picks that they've gotten. Even then, Isaiah Stewart's another one of those who went way higher than projected. That was a guy we kind of saw in the 20s. Like he was even linked to OKC there for a while. So you're exactly right, Ty. It's just a lot of unknowns, and I've heard it referred to as a flat draft because, once you get basically past those top 3, maybe 5 guys, it pretty much becomes flat. So anywhere from maybe 7 to, second round, you could have guys really emerging as guys that we'll look back, 5 years from now doing a redraft and should have gone higher.
Yeah. I will say I did not do my Isaiah Stewart homework. And so I found myself a little underprepared for that one. I hope that doesn't
That's surprising.
That
We've been on top of every pick so far. I'm impressed.
Yeah. I didn't think they would take any big men, honestly.
Yeah.
I was surprised by that.
Okay.
They came in. Sorry, go ahead.
The Thunder, there was some talk about him coming to OKC. And so I didn't do a lot of research, but other Thunder fans kind of looked into him. Guy with an incredible amount of length, lacking athleticism, but has the possibility to really have a stroke, really shoot the ball really well. So I think he's going to be a bit different from, the bigs maybe that Detroit is used to in the past, which will be interesting. I think maybe for Detroit, it's going to be a little bit like Oklahoma City, where it's a bit of a breath of fresh air. It's something new and a bit of a new direction and something you haven't seen in the past.
Yeah, it's been very entertaining. Well, entertaining is the word I will use to watch our comrades at Cleveland have the same kind of thoughts and discussions and manipulations around Andre Drummond that I had for so many years. And it's like,
is Peyton Pritchard?
He's an Oregon.
I don't even know.
Wait, he went in the first round?
Yeah, he just went to Boston. Is that not the most classic?
I didn't interrupt you, Laz, but I was like, who is that?
So I've heard.
Sorry, Laz.
Like he's either going to be Fred VanVleet or the kid who went to Utah, the scrappy point guard Grayson Allen. I feel like he's going to be one or the other.
Okay,
I think
I've done no research on.
There's the really good case for a scrappy point guard is FVV, and then there's Grayson Allen, who's like probably not going to be in the league for very long. I probably closer to Grayson than FVV based on Laz's reaction, but that kind of player is what I've gathered.
Grayson Allen went to Duke.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Or to Duke, yeah. Sorry, but got picked by Utah.
Yeah, you got Ty Jerome on one end, and you got Fred VanVleet on the other. Like that.
OKC Thunder player Ty Jerome.
Was he in that trade?
Yeah, he was in that trade.
Oh man,
you guys' roster is nuts.
Oh my
Peyton
God.
Tyrell Terry, Jaden McDaniels, and Theo Maldron. That's crazy.
Theo Maldron's still on the board.
He's still on the board. Yeah. I said Maldron. I just read it.
Somebody is like there are a bunch of really good players who are going to be there at like the
second
35 round. 40 range. We're going to see a lot of trades.
I was just about to say that, Laz. We're going to see a ton of trades and a lot of still considered trades, but purchasing second round picks.
Yeah.
For cash.
Yeah, I think
That's a
Xavier
great point.
Tillman, that's Michigan State guy, right, Les?
Yeah,
I
that's
like
my-
him a lot.
I
I
do
actually
too.
thought he might go late first. He might still go late first, but I think he's just like a good big guy. Like I don't see why he wouldn't get drafted.
Yep.
At least before 40.
Robert Woodard's another guy. He's one of those
Yeah.
like long athletic wings I think would be great for a team.
Yeah, if you were
a lot
gonna
of names out there.
Yeah, in my mind, if you were gonna take an unathletic big man, I would have taken Tillman over Stewart. Just because
Okay,
like
interesting.
Tillman's just like a really smart defender. Really great in the short roll, which is like a lost art kind of among NBA big men.
So true.
And just like a like bad MFer, just like a dude you just like don't get to move. That guy moves you. I was talking to Sean Woodley of Locked On Raptors about Tillman because he likes Tillman a lot. And I was just saying, like, go watch the Final Four, the Elite Eight game against Duke and Zion. And like Zion running into Xavier Tillman is like, oh, like this is the first dude I can't move. That's weird. It's like
running into a wall.
Yeah, and once you see something like that on film, that definitely pops. And so like, yeah, I would have definitely taken Tillman over Stewart. But Stewart's a Piston now, so
big Isaiah Stewart fan.
Big Isaiah Stewart, yeah.
Hey, so while we're waiting for the next picks to come in, Laz, real quick. Blake Griffin, he going to put on a Detroit Pistons jersey come December 21st, 22nd?
I think so. Nothing I've heard or seen indicates that they want to trade him like right away. Blake is a really great culture guy. Somebody who like instantly made an impact in the locker room, like as soon as he was traded. I think it's really great to have somebody who like both has the ability to still be an elite level player and like can still be an example in the locker room simultaneously. I think it's always interesting when you have like great locker room vets, but like guys like Udonis Haslem who are basically just like assistant coaches who don't play but just like impart kind of knowledge on teams on younger guys. I think it's even better when those younger guys like see you like actually going out there and busting people's ass, and then they're like, hey, like okay, like maybe I should like actually listen to this guy and like hear what he has to say. I do think they trade Blake down the line, but I don't think it's a priority for them.
One thing I wanted to ask you, and I know we have a pick on the board, but do you think taking a big man, having Blake still, how much does this affect the Christian Wood conversation?
Well, that's interesting. So, I mean, like, I don't think they're going to offer a qualifying offer to our good friend Thon Maker Ty. So I think that situation's up in the air. John Henson, also an unrestricted free agent.
He's coming to Milwaukee for vet min. I hate to tell you, but I don't have that source. I would love
the return.
Return. Bring back Brandon Knight too, baby. But go on.
Yeah, and so the only like traditional real big men on the roster.
Laz, we have some news. Sorry, I keep interrupting you, but we have news. The Utah Jazz have agreed to trade center Tony Bradley and the 38th pick to the Detroit Pistons for future considerations. Per Woj.
I was just gonna like, hey, like it's Justin Patton and Blake Griffin were the only two like true big men who were going to be on the roster. So now we got
Tony Bradley.
Tony Bradley actually wasn't bad. I liked what he had to show in the playoff series against Denver. He can play a little bit.
Is this a salary dump? Is that what this is? Like, are you getting 38 to take Tony Bradley for this pick the Jazz just made?
Huh.
Is that what just happened or not? Like, I'm not sure. Honestly,
I can't do this and the TV and Twitter. So you guys got to tell me, like, is this a salary dump?
Well, it's just for future considerations. Does not sound like the Jazz are really stoked about what and cash. Future considerations and cash.
Yep.
This might be just Utah trying to get his salary off the books, which you can do worse for taking a salary than a small one on a player that we all just agreed can play. Like it's right. This seems really nice for Detroit if they're sending like
Detroit's
a bad pick.
Killing this draft.
Yeah,
they're having a fantastic draft.
I mean, Utah just, if I'm reading the TV right, Utah just took Udoka Azubuike.
Yes, they did do that.
Did from Kansas.
Who's another center.
Okay,
so it's like they didn't need Bradley anymore.
So get rid of Bradley and send. You're right. Good point, Laz.
Yeah.
So the Pistons got a pick and had to give up some cash to get Tony Bradley. That's pretty good for Detroit, man.
Bro, I'm loving the Troy Weaver era so far.
Hey, I was about to say, you're welcome. You're welcome. Oklahoma City zone, baby.
Stan Presti protege.
It's like after the first movie made was trading Bruce Brown to Brooklyn, and that was pretty. That was
a Justin Patton erasure. The Justin Patton erasure that just happened on this podcast.
You're right, Ty. I'm so
former
sorry.
Wisconsin Herd center.
Former OKC Blue center.
That's right.
I was there for Justin Patton's 57-point game.
Yeah,
whenever,
that was wild.
Yeah,
57 points, like rebounds.
He snapped that night and then immediately got the call up to the Thunder the next day. Like immediately.
And then got traded. Exactly.
Yeah. But the second big move Troy Weaver made was trading Bruce Brown. And that was pretty unpopular. Bruce had really kind of ingrained himself to Detroit fans. Like I really liked Bruce and his development like year over year. Why are they showing clips of Michael Jordan when Udoka
fly with me?
Okay. I don't understand. But the early returns on the Troy Weaver era look really good. Look really good. I'm impressed. I'm happy. I got to go record a podcast after this.
Now you like Troy Weaver now. Wait till he selects Mitch McGary because he's a good teammate. Okay, wait for that.
That was a fun one. Or you can trade away Bledsoe for to trade up to get Cole Aldridge. That was a fun one.
No, the funnier thing to me was so when he got hired, there's no pictures of Troy Weaver anywhere on the AP or Getty, except for the press conference where they introduced Josh Huestis.
Uh-huh. Oh no!
It's just Troy Weaver and Josh Huestis
that is the epitome of Sam Presti.
It's okay, how closely can we crop Josh Huestis out of these pictures?
Yeah, that was not one of Sam Presti's finer drafts. The Josh Huestis, Mitch McGary draft. Hey, Mitch McGary had some game. He also just had a unicycle and a snake and a big old sack of weed too.
We got Thunder. I think we got Thunder. Is this Thunder or is this Lakers? I think it's Thunder. Oklahoma City via Lakers is selecting Jaden McDaniels with the 28th pick in the draft.
But that pick is going to Minnesota.
Oh, damn it. You're right. Yeah. You're exactly right. The Timberwolves are targeting Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, 25, 28, and Rubio.
I was so excited.
So what's the next Thunder pick right now before trade? So you
34.
34. Okay, gotcha.
And Detroit has 38 now? Did you guys say that right?
I think so. Yep.
Okay.
I can confirm that. Let's see.
And we got we did get a Bobby Marks tweet that is about they wanted to get off Bradley's $3.5 million so they can re-sign Jordan Clarkson, who's a big bench piece for them. So
that's
so the
fair.
Pistons really just snuck in here and got Tony Bradley in 38, which is not a bad pick.
Yeah, that's a good piece of work. For nothing. Okay, the only thing I am starting to get a little worried that the amount of available cap space is shrinking to the point where it's looking like paying Christian Wood more than the mid-level or using cap space to pay Christian Wood would be tricky. So now that I'm a little concerned about that.
Yeah. It'll be interesting if he prioritizes going to a better team or wants to stay with the Pistons. I honestly, it'll be interesting. I think he definitely wants to cash out though after being overseas and being on 3 different G League teams. What do you guys think about Jaden McDaniels? It seems to me kind of a project-y player. I know we joked on our pod that if John Hammond can get his hands on this guy, he's going to at any cost. Any long, unrefined player is going to the John Hammond team. It looks like this guy, McDaniels isn't, but what do you guys think of him as a prospect?
So he's a guy that when we thought the Thunder were just staying at 25 for a long time now, done a lot of research into Jaden McDaniels. He never fit the Thunder prototype as far as who he is as a guy. He was lots of technicals at Washington. Really a question on how serious he takes the game and stuff like that. But the talent is there. I mean, the way he plays looks very KD-esque. And, I thought there was a chance the Thunder could still target him because OKC has taken on these reclamation projects. You think of Enes Kanter, you think of Dion Waiters, you think of Nerlens Noel. Yeah, so, I thought that might have been a possibility. I think Jaden McDaniels has a chance. I think he's one of these guys, though, that has to go to the right situation, that's going to be patient, and that's going to put in the time. Is Minnesota that place? I don't really know. I don't know.
They have a really weird group now. Minnesota has a really weird group now. I don't know how this team is going to come together. So they added just today Balmero's overseas, but Anthony Edwards, Ricky Rubio, and Jaden McDaniels all to fit on this team with D'Angelo Russell and Towns. So it's going to be strange over there. I do wonder if their picks and their moves affect Malik Beasley, who is a restricted free agent who put up crazy numbers with Minnesota, obviously dealing with a legal situation right now. The talent's there, and honestly, we've already talked a little bit. That could be a Bucks pivot if Minnesota, now that they have Edwards and Rubio, is not interested in paying him / dealing with him.
Yeah. And Malik Beasley also has obviously the off-court issues that have arisen over the past couple of months, which may affect his ability to, get paid. And maybe the Timberwolves don't want to bring. If he was on the Thunder, he would not be back, right? The Thunder actually just traded away Terrence Ferguson today, I think in no small part to some of the off-court reports that are coming out about Terrence Ferguson. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Malik Beasley not get as much money as we thought he would on the open market because of those issues.
So this is interesting. Just kind of to summarize the Timberwolves, Woj tweeted out, Rosas has reshaped the Timberwolves perimeter talent tonight, drafting Anthony Edwards, Leandro Bolmar, I don't even know how to say his last name, Jay McDaniels in the first round, and also they acquired Ricky Rubio, which is pretty wild. That's a pretty big transformation for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I wonder if that kind of leaves Josh Okogie out in the cold.
Ooh,
that's a guy who I've always kind of had my eye on as a guy who reminded me as a classic Piston, right?
Yep.
Just like a guy who gets up in your shirt, defends his butt off, does whatever the team needs to win, but that normally doesn't include scoring the basketball.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Presti guy.
Joe, Stowe, I don't have a favorite bird. Stop asking.
Oh, is Stowe in here again?
Stowe's in the chat.
I'll say the penguin. I'll say a penguin. Does that count? I think that counts.
Oh, yeah. Non-flight bird.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
Bird.
All right, while we're waiting for more news, Ty, hit me. Milwaukee has been like the talk of the NBA for the past couple of days, but with all the craziness surrounding it. When the dust settles, whenever we get to the season, has Giannis signed the Supermax?
I would have had a different answer. Hold on. About 5 hours ago, I would have had a much different answer for you. At this point, I'll say it's up in the air. I don't really have an answer. I'm still a little bit leaning yes. As dire as things seem right now, the Bucks, if this trade gets nullified or canceled or it just falls through naturally, if whatever reason it doesn't happen, they still have some time and room to pivot. They can still take whatever Dante DiVincenzo, Ersan Ilyasova, and DJ Wilson are and move them somewhere else for something else. It seems like from what we've seen on this reporting on the 24th pick, they still have Drew Holiday, who, let's be honest, the much better player of the two players they acquired. Drew is really the difference-making player that they really needed in a lot of ways. Super Eric Bledsoe, like the promise of Eric Bledsoe translating to the postseason and then like 20% better is the perfect player for this team. And they still seem to have that player. So all is not lost. I still think they probably get him to sign, but it certainly feels dicier than it did before when they had his, again, one NBA friend also coming to town on a very nice deal for the team. So we'll see. But the rest of the league, at least before tonight, sure seemed to think that he was going to at least sign some sort of an extension. I still think I'd be surprised if he didn't sign anything just because he doesn't want the media on him every single day about why he didn't sign or where he's going. And we all know that's going to be the case if he signs no extension. So we'll see exactly how it plays out. But it's very interesting. Interesting, I think, is the word you use when you ask me the question. It's a very good word.
Yeah. Ty, what did you think of Horst's attempt to kneecap Budenholzer by only having like 7 guys who were rotation quality?
There might be something to it, is what I'll say. There might be something to it. Part of me almost wonders if Horst is like calling other front offices, like, can you just throw your biannual at Pat so we can't bring him back by any? Can you just do us that favor? Like, we don't need Pat playing 34 minutes in a closing game again, please. Like, Corver, Kyle, retire. You've had a great career. Like, please. Not again. They're fine players, but limiting Bud's bench choices would not be the worst idea in the world. I will like bringing in 5 second-round picks who can't like function properly yet is probably the one way you wouldn't get him to go deep at all times.
Yeah, just basketball babies and Frank Mason.
Exactly. So, Frank Mason's probably going to play this year, man.
Hey, we also got, I guess reporting, I forget from who, that Milwaukee actually never engaged with Oklahoma City on a Chris Paul deal. We actually had you on the Uncontested to do mock trades for Chris Paul, and you and Rohan were all over it. Any surprise there that they never actually engaged Oklahoma City on a Chris Paul deal?
I mean, I wouldn't. A little bit of surprise that if they really didn't even talk to them, that's a little bit surprising. I don't know necessarily if I buy that. I think it makes it. I don't know. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. I mean, we got the report pretty early on that they weren't interested based on what he makes.
That's a good point.
And I will say, I mean, they didn't now get Bogdan, but getting two players basically in that same salary spot instead of one is not a terrible alternative when one of them is as good as Drew. And there is the thing. My one hesitation with CP3 was always, are the next team that gets him the year too late, right? Like everyone was worried he was washed last year. He turns in a terrific season, all NBA season, I believe. At some point, like we're going to be right that he's washed, right? Like it's going to happen at some point. Might happen to Phoenix this year. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I think that's less likely now with the Bucks' new plan, although we don't know what that plan is anymore. But I will say I do feel a little bit better about not, even if they didn't engage, they weren't beating Phoenix's offer. The Phoenix really came in with, I think, a very strong offer. I think the pieces that the OKC got from Phoenix are a lot more flippable than the floatsome the Bucks would have sent over. I think the pick was nice. So I'm not going to lose sleep over that, just because in the end of the day, I think that Oubre offer is going to trump whatever the Bucks are, like Bledsoe and whatever else.
No, I think that's totally fair. Also, next pick coming in, it looks like Malachi Flynn headed to Toronto.
I hate to see it. You hate to see it because he's good. Yeah,
he is good.
Is this some Fred VanVleet insurance?
I was actually just thinking that it absolutely could be. He won't be ready right away, and Fred will be. It also could be, in a manner of speaking, this could be Kyle Lowry insurance.
I was about to say that as well. Yeah.
Speaking of point guards, speaking of point guards who we don't know how much longer they're not going to be washed. Like Kyle Lowry plays a very intense brand of basketball,
or even healthy.
Yeah, and is getting up there, right? And so it makes a lot of sense to have another ball handler in the mix there in Toronto. But yeah, he's really good. I'm kind of mad Toronto's so good.
I'm super mad. He's going to be really good there.
30th pick.
Yeah, Celtics moving 30.
Is Desmond Bain still on the board though?
He is.
And 30's on the move right now. We don't know to where though yet. So
okay.
Desmond Bain's still on the board. Tyrell Terry's still on the board. We saw some interesting players left to go. We're on the clock at 30 now. So Thunder 4 picks away from their second round pick. We plan to end the stream at the end of the first round, but I think we'll stay to 34. You got Thunder pick. Yeah. We'll stay through that pick. See what happens, because I know all of us probably have podcasts coming up after this as well. It's been a long day. It's been a long week, guys, and shit. We still got Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern free agency.
Oh, man. I'm hopeful that the Pistons are pretty quiet in free agency, but yeah. And I told you guys earlier, right? Like my power was out in my home.
Yeah, I know. I was going to ask you about that, and we got completely sidetracked. You finally got power. So did you even get to see the Killian Hayes pick?
I did.
Or did you see it on your phone? Okay, good.
I did.
Good.
I got power went out at like 2:00. A dump truck like ran into a pole somewhere or something.
Gosh.
So it wasn't even like citywide. It was just like half my
just
your house.
Your house.
Draft night.
The dump truck literally just went through your goddamn house.
Basically, and it's like I'm like emailing my boss. I'm like, so I don't have power, so like I can't work.
I can't work tomorrow.
But it's like that. So that was cool.
He's like, likely story. I know that
on draft day, huh? Draft day. I see.
Well, no, but then it gets closer and closer to draft day, and I'm like, crap, I'm not gonna have power for the entire NBA draft. This is gonna suck. And then 7:30 comes back on, and I'm like, okay, like let's do this. Let's do the podcast. Like I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like Memphis is getting pick number 30.
Okay.
Okay.
Desmond Bain.
We got Bain.
That feels like Desmond. Yeah.
Desmond Bain.
That's a really
nice
good pick.
It's a really nice pick. I mean, I shouldn't do this like I expected him to get to the Bucks, and I don't mind Memphis getting a good player. Memphis' young core now is just ridiculous. I mean, if you go there, Desmond Bain, they still have Clark, they have JJJ. This is a good team, and I think Dylan's gotten a little bit better.
Justice Winslow.
Yep. If he ever plays again.
Yeah. Man, I'm high on Justice Winslow. I might be in the minority here, but I really like Justice Winslow a lot. I think he's got a lot of potential.
We were hoping we might get him in a Gallo sign trade at the trade deadline, and then all that fell through.
Yeah.
I would have liked. It's one of those.
Okay.
He just needs to stay on the court. I think he can really play. He's just had trouble staying on the court. If he can do that, though, I agree with you. He's like a kind of a point forward who's really rangy on defense. It's a good skill set. Memphis has just stockpiled a bunch of dudes who can play. I think they need to go get another couple of vets. I think you saw they really lost a lot when they traded Jay Crowder, which would surprise people, but you need some vets, and they don't really have many. Is Valanciunas a free agent? I can't remember, maybe. But they're going to need to find some older guys, but they can do that for sure.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Gallinari, reporting out right now, it's a little confusing on how the Thunder are actually acquiring Al Horford from the Philadelphia 76ers. Is it two separate deals, or are they roping Philly in with the Lakers pick, or for the Lakers trade for the pick and for Danny Green? Yeah. If they do it that route, the Thunder actually can renounce the rights to Andre Robertson and still keep the rights to Danilo Gallinari going into free agency and conduct a sign and trade. What spots do you guys think Gallo fits well at a sign and trade where the Thunder might be able to get an asset back?
There might be a new one now, newly available in Milwaukee. There might be a new salary slot there.
That's a good point.
I don't know what the Bucks. If you guys have suddenly changed your tune on Dante DiVincenzo, that we got something cooking. If not, I don't know what we have to offer. Not a lot of draft capital. If you like second round picks, we got some of those we can send. But there's one right there.
Anytime there's a possible Thunder trade, I feel like I'm I forgot the Dave Chappelle skit. I forget the name, but y'all got any of them picks? Y'all got them picks? What's
Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle. But what's the crackhead's name that he plays?
All I can think of is Ashy Larry, and Ashy Larry is not the crackhead. I need to do my rewatch.
I just keep thinking
that's a good one too. Though.
What is it, Clayton Biggums? I keep going back to Clayton Biggums.
I think that's it.
Bigsby?
Yeah.
Clayton Bigsby.
Bigsby.
Clayton Bigsby was the Klan member. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Never mind.
The black white supremacist.
Yes.
Man.
I love Chappelle so much.
Gallo would be an interesting fit in Denver if they don't re-sign Jeremy Grant. The return of Gallo to Denver just as another wing-sized ball handler. You think of Philly. I don't know how much cap space Philly has available to them, if any at all.
That's a good point.
But he'd be a really great fit for them as well.
Miami, depending on what happens with Milwaukee.
Does Miami want to spend money? Are they still going to chase Giannis?
That's if Giannis puts pen to paper, then Miami. Then I think Miami will just go get him for whatever. If Giannis doesn't, then no, because we all know Gallo. Well, actually, I don't know. Gallo's probably seemed to have changed. Maybe he would go on like a ballooned 1-year deal to Miami. That's possible too. But that's a destination as well. We just got pick protection details. I know this is sexy news for everybody.
It is for us.
The first, not you guys, I don't think. Maybe you probably end up with it. The first going to the Pelicans from Denver is a 2023 lottery protected first.
Okay. So a lottery protected first round pick for Jaden McDaniels.
Denver should be still solidly a playoff team in 2023.
I would expect it to convey personally, but we'll say it's a long way from now in NBA terms.
So we got Bran asked us all, do you think Tyrell Terry makes it to 34 for OKC?
Certainly possible.
I didn't think he'd be here.
I didn't either.
Yes,
that's fair.
It's entirely possible.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It almost
Maladon would also be a good pick for you guys.
Absolutely. That's a good point.
Man, what about Nico Mannion? He's still around, right?
Nico's still on the board too.
I'm not a big fan
OKC was linked to him earlier.
God damn.
This is classic.
That's Tyrell Terry. That is so
Is Seth Curry still there? Can we get the Spider-Man memes out now? Come on.
Yeah, there you go.
Seth Curry 2.0.
To
Dallas.
Dallas.
Rick Carlisle continues to make the entire plane out of point guards.
Yep.
And
Luke is like the Knicks with power forwards.
Real quick for the people in the stream, since the first round is over, the uncontested mock draft contest has completed. The winner of the custom OKC Alexei Pokushevsky jersey, you can just get Poku on the back, is none other than our man, Dorian.
Hey!
Dorian Hauser got it. So congrats, Dorian. I will. Funny story. Dorian is actually a former student at the high school I teach at. So,
nice.
That's very cool.
Shout out to Dorian. He won by 4 points. So, Dorian, we will hook you up. I'm gonna have to dig through here and see who got the closest for the Thunder pick. That way, we can get that OKC draft hat out. So we'll get that as well. But yeah, congrats, Dorian. We will get you that jersey now. The way shit goes in Kobe, you might not get it until he's maybe flipped for another first round pick in 6 months. But we'll see. So we'll get you hooked up.
Got to get that American Express jersey insurance going.
There you go.
There you go.
They might put jersey insurance out of business in OKC with all the flipping that's going on. You guys might drive Amex into the ground.
I need the.
You don't get the insurance if it's an OKC jersey. You get for any other team.
I need the Ricky Rubio OKC jersey. I need somebody's got to show up at Summer League.
That's right, with the Rubio jersey. Yep.
And we were talking about Ricky Rubio. We were just talking about Nico Mannion. I don't think it would be fair for the Thunder to draft Nico Mannion because with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kelly Oubre, you got Rubio for a minute, you got Steven Adams, you maybe have the sexiest team in the league. Nico, God bless his soul, he's one ugly bastard. Like, there's going to be nothing left for my man. I tweeted the other day, I said Shai, Kelly, Rubio, and Steven Adams, the pregnancy rates in OKC are gonna fly through the roof, man. Like,
what are the chances you guys just have to hold Oubre for longer than you think, just because him and Shai just get along too well?
They're just like best friends. They do like Converse commercials together, and like
athletes. They're gonna be gassing each other up in the tunnel all year long,
or at least until the deadline.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And
until another first round pick comes
MVPs.
I think you would think that Kelly Oubre would have some pretty good value. I mean, I know he's an expiring deal, but 24 really made a jump in Phoenix. Maybe OKC holds on to him and actually signs him to an extension and looks to trade him farther on down the line. At some point, the Thunder can't bottom out with just a whole lot of rookie level contracts. At some point, you need those mid-tier contracts so you can make trades.
Right?
Yeah.
You need those $14 to $20 million contracts so you can trade for people.
I think Oubre is kind of a divisive player around the league. I mean, you'll find people who are like, I really love his potential as a swingman. I think he's going to be a dynamic player, starter on a good team kind of guy. And then there's some people who are like, I think he's selfish. I don't think he has a good attitude, etc. The nice thing is you don't operate when you're trading him with like the averages of those. You just have to find a trading partner who's on the high end, and then you can get a pretty good return. So I think certainly, again, it's like we talked about with Steven Adams earlier. They don't need to be in a rush. Like you're not on a clock to trade Kelly Oubre. You can sit and wait for someone who's interested and make the move then. I think, OKC's in such a comfortable position is really the term I would use. They're not in a rush to do much of anything. I mean, you don't want to dawdle too long with Shai on the roster, but they certainly they don't need to flip Oubre by the deadline. As much as I joke that they'll do that because Presti, they can do pretty much whatever they want right now.
It'll be fun to watch Oubre Jr. in OKC. I mean, we'd love to have him. It's just like we're just trying to be realistic.
Pragmatic,
it's weird to call him older because he's not old. But in terms of what Presti's looking at, I mean, we said this on our podcast before, maybe even with you guys, Ty, when you guys are on, but like the next superstar for OKC, if they're lucky enough to score one of those, might not even have their driver's license yet, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So when you take that into consideration, maybe Oubre Jr. is a little old. So we'll see. There was rumors earlier today that there's Tyrell Terry. That's cool. That Oubre was being shopped for a first rounder in return. So I don't know. It'll be
my reaction was to the pick, not Oubre. That wouldn't shock me. I think he'll probably get.
Gotcha.
He'll probably get a first for him eventually. Vernon Carey to Charlotte at 32.
Yeah, that's
so more good players falling to OKC at 34 is what we
that's
learned.
Wild.
Is this not just bad branding, Ja Okafor? I mean, Laz, I think you know more than me. You had a reaction too, but that's what it feels like to me.
It does.
The guy who the college post scorer is not really the guy you want to be taking in this version of the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't love that pick for.
That's a good point.
I will say Oubre is he tore his meniscus right before the season
Also a good point. I kind of forgot about that.
Didn't play in the 8-0 bubble run by the Suns.
Didn't play. Yeah,
Great
and
point.
I would want to see his medicals because I think he's that's not the first like lower body injury he's had, if I'm remembering correctly. And so
Great point.
That's a really good point.
I would.
Oh my God, Tyler Bay's still on the board too.
Oh God, you want to talk about a Thunder pick?
Yeah.
No, double bays.
Double
Coming
to Bay squared.
I love it. But on Kelly Oubre stuff, along with that, maybe there's some concern about the injury history, and I think this applies maybe even more to Al Horford. The Thunder front office feels pretty damn confident of bringing a guy in who maybe has a little bit lower trade value, keeping him around for half a year to a year, and then increasing that trade value exponentially. They weren't supposed to be able to trade Chris Paul for a first, and look at what they got for Chris Paul. I made the joke earlier today on Twitter, but I love going back to you should have waived and stretched Carmelo Anthony, right? Well, Carmelo Anthony ended up to being Dennis Schroeder, which ended up being 28 and Danny Green, which ended up being Al Horford and a 2025 pick and 34 tonight. The Thunder have a knack of taking these guys that maybe don't have value, building them up, and then flipping them right at the right time. Maybe Kelly Oubre is the next example of this. They bring him in. He plays until about February, looks really good, looks healthy, and then you flip him to a team that's needing to make that push and is willing to give up that 2021, 2022 draft pick.
You guys got the overseas guy too in the Horford deal, right? Misic.
Yes.
I have no idea about him at all. I hear people are high on him. I hear that's a nice pickup.
I just saw somebody tweet that he's like one of the top point guards in whatever. I don't even know what league he's in.
26 years old, I think I saw.
Yep.
Yeah,
26 years old, so not old.
Ooh,
Josh
Philly.
Richardson to Dallas.
Yowza.
Whoa! Wow!
Oh, Daryl Morey.
We got a trade.
Never born. Daryl Morey never born.
Is Tyrell Terry involved in that or?
We just have that.
That's a great
Jay
point.
Rich is going to Dallas right now.
Huh. Okay.
How does
That's a
salary
good
matching work on that too? Because Jay Rich makes what, about 12? Is that right?
Is Seth Curry going? Is that did Dallas get the new Seth Curry and now they're good? I don't know. I don't know yet.
That's a good point, Ty.
That is a good point.
Seth Curry.
What does Seth Curry make? Like 7 or 8? Like I think it's close-ish on salary.
It's MLE money. It's MLE money. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Tyrell Terry's still there at 34.
No, Tyrell Terry's already gone to Dallas, bro.
Oh, wait, no, never mind.
He's in Dallas, yeah.
Dang it.
Tillman, though.
Yeah, true.
You got Ibaka was what you got for Sabonis and Oladipo, right?
Yes.
We sent Ibaka. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just an incredible steal. It's the Magic, one of the worst trades I've ever seen in my entire life.
Your chat's asking, and so that's why I'm like,
okay. Hey, can you guys?
Another example of rehabbing the value.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
Beautiful. Let's pull this up. Josh Richardson.
Let's figure this out.
Only 11 million for Josh Richardson. That's not as much as I thought.
Daylon Wright?
Yeah, it could be Daylon Wright.
Could be right.
It could be Seth and Filler, maybe. They're not sending Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yeah.
Seth might work straight up. That might be within the 125% or whatever it is. And that I could see this in Philly sending something almost maybe.
Oh.
Maybe. But that
There
does
you go.
work.
True. Add in
And this
something
could be
else.
the Rocket or I said Rockets. I'm so used to Morey being there. The Sixers need shooting, right? Like no matter what, even if they only have one of Simmons or Embiid, definitely both. They need shooting. I have no info. This might be it though.
And what this also tells me is I saw some Philly people saying, is Danny Green staying or is he going to be flipped in a future deal?
It could be Danny Green. Yeah.
This tells me that Danny Green is going to stay in Philly if they're dealing Josh
Seth Curry.
Richardson.
It is Seth. There you
Let's
go.
go.
Nice
call.
There we go.
Good call.
Look at
Ty.
that.
Thank you. Thank you.
On top
Beautiful.
of it. Good shit.
Needed to pick up one W today, folks. This is it. I have a hot take on Al Horford.
I'm ready.
I think they're going to get an asset for him before all is said and done. I think OKC is going to get a real thing. Maybe when he's an expiring, maybe you have to wait a bit. But I don't think he's this huge black hole. I think exactly what you guys are talking about, where you let him play maybe on a team without 10 centers on the floor at once. I think he's going to look good. Maybe it's not. I don't think it's a good asset, but I think you're going to get something. Some contender is going to go, you know what? We have spare parts. take a bad pick, take our 27th pick and this salary, we would like a year of Al Horford. That would not surprise me.
Holy cow. Dallas is acquiring Josh Richardson and the 36th pick for Seth.
That's a good trade for
Dallas.
That's like, can we talk about how seamlessly Josh Richardson fits on that Dallas team who needed somebody to guard people on ball and could actually still make shots in the corner?
Absolutely.
That's a perfect fit for
with Luka.
Yeah,
I like that a lot as a backcourt mate for Luka for sure.
Yeah, that's your Tim Hardaway Jr. replacement in the future.
If he played a little bit of defense, yeah.
And
is he a free agent too?
No, I think he's only got one more year, but there's no way. He's making 18, I think.
Yeah, he makes a lot.
Now, I would have to, put the math in front of me. I don't know what it looks like right now, but Philly with the Al Horford. Why is that relevant?
The notification we just got.
Wait, what did
Seth Curry Seth Curry, he actually has a typo. He's going to have to send it again. But Seth Curry is married Coach Doc Rivers' daughter, Kelly.
So
Doc is really just like, we need Seth. We need my son-in-law on this team no matter what. And never Paul George again.
Yeah. I'd have to put the stuff up in front of me and really see the math here. But Philly traded picks plus Horford for Danny Green, and Terrence Ferguson. They saved money there. They're saving about $3 million here, right? So they're also trimming that tax bill pretty significantly.
Yeah, and opening up some more flexibility for them. Is Philly picking for you guys at 34?
Yes.
Yeah. So you just got Maladon.
We just got Maladon.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I like that pick.
Nice.
Maladon was the other French point guard.
Here we go. Give it about 30 seconds, and Taylor's going to announce it. You ready?
Theo. There we go. I was watching my phone as I went pee real quick.
That's impressive, man. Scrolling with one hand and pissing with the other. I'm
a man of many talents, Jacob.
I thought you were man of many talents.
That also.
I'm shocked my dog hasn't come up and been like, "What are you doing?
Why are you still doing this, Dad? What's going on?" Yeah.
Maladon's a good pick, man.
That is a good pick of this. Yeah, I do like that.
It's not bad for
Theo and Poku.
Yeah, they are much happier about this pick than they were about 17 and Poku. Much happier.
The good size for point guard. I think the book on him is that he's good at everything you want a point guard to do, but not great at any single one thing. But he's 6'5" and young, and so you're like, we can teach him one elite skill, and then we'll have a player.
He could be in a really intriguing backcourt of the future with Shea someday if he does come along nicely. I mean, that's two long, athletic guards. That's a lot of fun potentially. It's going to be even. I don't think he's going to start this year, but even this year, when they're on the floor together, I think you guys. There's going to be some bad, of course, with any rookie guard, but there's going to be some fun moments. I think.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about your head coach, who I know nothing about?
Hey, I actually I wanted to bring him up. So Mark Daignault actually came over to Thunder.
Daignault, we still aren't sure.
Coach
it's up in the air, up for interpretation.
Coach
D. Coach D. I like that.
He was in Florida, University of Florida, with Billy Donovan. Actually, Presti got him from Florida, and then the next year got Donovan. So I was actually going to bring this up earlier, and it just slipped my mind. I'm not sure. I'll have to do research on it, but Daignault might have coached on that Al Horford team. He might have been a grad assistant on that Al Horford team. There's a possibility there.
Well, because didn't Brad Beal tweet about him too, or post about him after he got hired?
He was Brad Beal's development coach down at Florida.
Brad Beal of the Thunder confirmed.
There you go.
I mean, if you're picking guys, right? The dude who helped develop Brad Beal, that's nice. That's
yeah. The Thunder groomed that guy since he came to the franchise to eventually take over a role like this. He's huge on development. He really fits the direction of the franchise is going. So it made sense that they didn't go with some big name that I think they're taking the same route with the coach that they are with their players, which is let's get them in here young, let's develop them, let's watch them grow, let's push them and see what they can become.
We got another great Memphis pick. They picked
I
up
saw that
Tillman at
Xavier.
35.
Yeah.
That was my reaction. I'm like,
I was
So good.
they're so good.
good.
They're so
The
good.
reunification of JJJ and Tillman. I love it.
Oh, I didn't even
nice.
think of that. That's
Great.
awesome.
Oh
That's
man,
their
that
front
was
court now. Wow.
yeah, that's their
That's
front court.
a heck of a front court.
That was oh my god, that was
With
the
young
year.
Jaw.
So that was the
Oof.
year. That was the year we got swamped in like the second. Is that the Memphis State year? There was one year, the JJJ's year, we didn't go far in the tournament, despite the fact that we had JJJ and everybody knew he was going to be a top 5 pick, because we played a team that played zone, and Izzo refused to like sit JJJ in the middle of the zone and like have him shoot 17 footers. He played like
I
Ben
remember
Taylor instead, and we lost. And I was just like, what the hell is going on? So I'm glad those two dudes get to have better memories than the time they lost to Memphis State playing zone.
Yeah.
In the NCAA.
Yeah.
If either of you guys really, OKC or Detroit can be where Memphis is in like 2 years, that's a really good outcome. Memphis' ceiling is really
That's
high.
a good point.
And they're just fun. I think that's my favorite thing. Memphis is really fun. I think
They're a fun team.
that matters more than I think there's like this callous NBA analysis that's like, what are the win shares? It's fun. Like, let's have fun. Like, fans exist. Like, give the fans something to enjoy. Memphis is awesome. Strive to be Memphis.
You can still be bad and have a ton of fun watching these guys develop and win games they aren't supposed to. And but Ty, something that we found out listening to that Woj documentary series with the Giannis draft. So Jacob, tell the story about when you were.
Okay, Ty, have you had a chance to listen to the Woj stuff yet?
I actually haven't. Everyone tells me it's a must listen. It's high on my list. I haven't gotten to it
Ty
yet.
isn't going to listen to this. He's like, this is pro ESPN Giannis propaganda. I refuse. It's like, I only get all my Giannis news
At the
like
very end,
homegrown
Giannis
from the
announces
source.
he's going like to Golden State or something.
Right,
like that.
exactly. It's like, this is crap.
That was my fear of how it would end, by the way. That's absolutely. I was like, I'm not listening to this. I don't want to hear how it ends.
So, quick story. I'll try to make it fast. Years ago, the Thunder have their annual blue-white scrimmage, their intra-squad scrimmage before the season starts, and they do it at a different local high school around the state. I managed to get tickets, and they were like these special tickets that only like 50 people got, where you got to sit like courtside on the high school gym. But the perk was you show up 2 hours early, and all 50 of us got to sit in the high school auditorium with Sam Presti and just do Q&A for like 30 minutes. And so this was 2015, I think. And I hadn't been into podcasting or anything at this point, right? And I'm standing in front of Sam Presti, like borderline about to shit my pants, like not sure what to ask. And I finally asked him about the Steven Adams draft. And Presti said, yeah, well, so we picked 12, and we had 2 guys we were really interested in that draft at 12, and that fell to us. And we went with Steven Adams, and we're super glad that we got Steven Adams, but we would have been okay with the other guy as well. And then so me and another guy immediately rose our hands. Who's the other guy? And he's like, yeah, I'm not telling you that. I'm not going to say that information. And
so we thought Rudy Gobert for the longest time.
Yeah, I've thought Rudy Gobert in that draft, and I've thought Giannis in that draft. Well, in this Woj 3-part documentary special, he talks about how at pick 12, the Thunder were considering taking Giannis Antetokounmpo. So 5 years later, I got my answer. Now, the development of Giannis could have been completely different playing behind. It actually said Sam Presti wanted to draft him and then keep him in Spain for another year.
Oh, wow.
Let him develop overseas. Yeah,
very Thunder thing to do.
Yes, and if they would have brought him over, he would have played behind Kevin Durant and Serge Ibaka, and so
that is his terrifying thought.
His trajectory would have been completely different, but it was just that it was that holy shit moment for me, that I finally got the answer to that question, and the Thunder almost drafted Giannis, which if they do, I think completely rewrites the story of the James Harden trade, because Steven Adams was the pick they got in the James Harden trade.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Steven,
oh, my goodness. Yeah.
It completely rewrites the James Harden trade.
Wow.
Wild.
That is wild. A guy I've never heard of just got drafted. I love the story, by the way.
I saw that too.
A guy I've never heard of before. I had no idea.
Washington Wizards, yeah.
Okay, oh, you guys got it. OKC just traded for it. Congrats.
What?
We just got some guy we don't know.
Krejci?
We're drafting half of Europe tonight.
Right?
Who is that? Krejci? trying my best, folks. I'm
Dude,
so
I
sorry to.
I
also have
cannot
never
wait
heard
to
of
see
that.
Presti
Czechoslovakia.
try to announce this name at his press conference tonight. I cannot wait for that.
Oh
I mean, like,
my
Vit
gosh.
Krejci.
Yeah.
Czech.
Is
He's a
he
Czech,
is
Check
he
it
coming
out.
over?
6'8", 20-year-old,
It says he's a point
Young,
guard. 6
a
foot eight,
point
6 foot
guard.
eight point guard's pretty
6'8" point guard.
Wow.
We're
Why are we drafting
recreating
so many
our
point
3-guard
guards?
lineup.
Is Shea on his way out?
SGA.
What's going on here?
Maybe
Shay's way too old, man. They got to retool a little bit
SGA,
younger.
Maladon.
He's 6'8",
And-
195, so he like weighs the same as Pokusevski.
Poku.
Yeah,
5
5 inches
taller.
shorter. That's wild.
Oh, man. Yeah, you guys are gonna have like a development, like big situation on your hands with Poku.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the talent that guy, the talent and confidence that guy has in his own game is like admirable. But like if he's like just gonna be like 215 pounds, like I don't know what kind of player he's gonna be.
Yeah.
That's-
Well, hey,
Exactly.
I said earlier tonight to these guys, he might only weigh 200 pounds now, but he's about to come to Oklahoma, buddy. We're
Take
only
him to the steakhouse.
we're only 49th in obesity because Mississippi exists. All right.
We got Utah taking Vanderbilt guard Saban Lee, who I also don't know a lot about. The second round's getting a little bit funky. There's some guys
Yeah.
I expected to go
Wait,
by
is
now
that-
who have
is
not.
that the pick we got in the Tony
Wild.
Robbins third?
Oh yeah, it is. So that's the new Piston.
Ah, there you
Vanderbilt
go.
guard Saban Lee.
Saban Lee. All right, I don't know a lot about Saban Lee.
I'm surprised, Jamius Ramsey, I think is how it's pronounced.
Yeah,
I like him.
My-
Tyshawn Alexander, I think I like a little bit. I'm surprised those
yeah.
guys are still here.
Ramsey from
True.
Texas Tech, I'm surprised has not gone yet.
Yeah.
I am not. Ramsey seemed like that classic guy who like thought he was like way better than he actually.
Yeah.
is.
That's fair.
I wonder what his pre-draft process was like.
Detroit is selecting Saber Lee at number 38.
Wait, Saber or Saban?
Or,
I've seen both. You're not wrong.
Oh.
Chance tweeted Saber. Javoni tweeted Saban. I have no
I
idea
have
which
no
it is.
idea.
I hope it's Saber.
Autocorrect.
Star
Yeah,
Wars,
like, we
right?
got
Possible.
like Trey Jones is still on the board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of surprising too. I feel like Trey's going to be a solid backup.
Yeah,
Both Cashes are still
Elijah
there, right?
Hughes. This is
Yeah.
going quick.
Yeah, that's what she
we're
said.
doing this.
So don't worry, guys. If we go long, whenever the Bucks have number 60, so I won't be starting my podcast for quite a while.
And like
Well-
I recorded before I jumped on with you guys. I was like, well, the Pistons like just made their pick at 16.
There won't be anything that happens.
It's like
We're good for a
the
while.
night, and then so I got some
Trey
more stuff.
Jones still hasn't gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, guys, I don't know when Presti's press availability is, but that's something that if it's going to be streamed, we probably want to tune into before we podcast. It's going to end up being a long night, guys. Long night.
Grab some coffee.
Yeah.
I might have to make a cup, quite honestly. But all I have in the house right now is gingerbread flavored. It doesn't hit the same. Let me tell you, it's all I've got, so I'll make do. But would not recommend that one from Target. You can find better options. Zero in,
Fair.
laser in on a better coffee in the aisles. Let that one drop to the side.
You're feeling festive, though, and I respect it.
Of course,
Okay.
of course.
Saban Lee is like a little point guard out here dunking on people. I like
Okay,
that.
that's good.
I like that. This is like
Well,
Oh, he is.
Live.
the Louisville
yeah.
offensive tackle that the Jets took, where he was just like literally like throwing people in his highlights.
Picking him
I
up.
was like,
throwing
oh
him
yeah,
down.
like I like this guy, and he turns out.
I like how we're getting live film breakdown of Laz on the stream. I'm into it.
Elijah Hughes is going to the Jazz. Oh, and Sacramento gets Robert Woodard.
Robert
Really
Woodard,
good
that's a
draft for
good
Sacramento. I forgot he was available. I like that at 40
Yep.
a lot.
Wait,
Me
is
too.
Sacramento like turning it around? Are they smart
Yeah.
now?
Vlade's
is
out,
this?
right?
Yeah,
Vlade's
out.
gone.
Yeah, people on Twitter have forgotten that, I think, with the Bogdan stuff, which I get it. But I really like Halliburton for them. I think Laz and I disagree a little bit on his game, but I think him next to Fox especially is going to be good. And
I
Woodard is a
like-
guy I know people liked.
I liked Halliburton. I just didn't like him as much for Detroit.
Yeah, sure.
Fair.
As like a point guard to build around. I think he's a
Exactly.
better complementary point guard than a featured point guard.
Exactly.
Well, guys, it looks like not to cut us off here, but it looks like Alexei Pokusevski press conference is incoming. So I think that means that Justin Taylor and I probably need to bow out and kind of hear some of the stuff before we podcast tonight. So last time, man, thank you guys so much. We did not expect you guys to stay on this long with us.
We stole all of your time.
We stole your entire night, but it was awesome, man. We love it. Anytime you guys need us, just holler. You know, we're always available. Blue Wire fam.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys so much. It was a blast, and I'm sure we'll be in talks again soon. So, and to everyone in the chat, man, you guys stuck around way longer than you should have. Thank you so much. We will get the jersey out to Dorian. We're going to get the hat out to whoever the hell won the hat. I got to figure that out. So we'll figure that out. And then we will have a podcast coming your way later this evening. And then again, tomorrow, we got Keith Smith coming on the pod to talk free agency. So be ready for that as well. Again, last Ty, thank you guys so much. Make sure you check out their podcast.
Yes.
Ty is doing the Eurostep
Milwaukee with Rohan.
Bucks. Goddamn, you're gonna have some good stuff to pod about, Ty. So make sure you guys turn in the Eurostep. Laz with both the Detroit Bad Boys and Pistons versus everybody. Check both of those out as well. Gentlemen, thanks again, and you guys have a good evening.
You guys are the best.
Have a good evening, fellas. Trust me, this is a lot better than Buck's Twitter doom scrolling. So.
Have fun.
All right.